foremost, cheers, fellas, to one successful podcast uploaded and on YouTube.
Go watch it.
We have links on Facebook and Instagram to go check that out soon.
It took a lot longer to get prepared than
it's been a learning process.
We'd like to admit
for all of us in learning how to suddenly video edit, match up audio and video in sync to make sure.
Dude,
just in general, taking forever because of the size of how big a podcast, of how long we do them is. At first, my computer would say 197 hours, which is more than a week, I'm pretty sure, by a long shot.
Yeah, no, going just to download it from the Google Drive to my computer, it only took like 20 minutes. But I ran into the issue where I was going to edit it, and then it wouldn't save. It got corrupted. Then I had to go and re-edit it, and then to make sure all the frames were right and everything, it took an hour just to get that squared away, and then just nitpicking OCDing, and then the save it took, I want to say, like 3 hours for whatever reason. I think that was in total, like with everything.
I mean,
and then getting it to the fucking YouTube running into issues.
Data when you edit.
Well, I was just running into one problem after another, and I'd step away to go let it get uploaded and everything, and then it froze at 42% going on to YouTube last night, or it had been up last night, and like 1 o'clock came around. I was like, fuck it, I'm restarting it. Just
you
cancel
all hear
it,
this
reload
super hard work that Sawyer put in, so you
so
need to go
we're
watch
appreciating him
the first
because
episode.
Like I was telling these guys before the podcast, just randomly, I had no idea Sawyer was even attempting to video edit. I tried at work with like free software you could download online, and mine looked like a middle school PowerPoint project. It was very choppy animations.
Well,
it wasn't good. The audio lined up, and I had a song in there, but I couldn't get it all to transition, so
I think it
was
would have
very
been
thankful.
all right, because if you just shave, you do look like a middle schooler. So
Except with the
middle
tattoos.
schooler
I could
presenting
pull
middle
it
school
off the
project.
next episode. It was a trick all along.
What middle schooler has all those tattoos?
He drew on
I
himself
draw
with
these
crayons.
on every day, kind sir.
Have you not seen the new ones where you can just like lay the piece of paper over?
No,
and you
did you not see the sleeves?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like you can
No,
make
no,
whole
no,
sleeve
no.
tattoos.
They
Oh,
make
those
like
slide-on stuff.
like the football, basketball players wear.
yeah.
They have
I've seen
tattoo
that.
like skin-colored sleeves, so you, as long as it matches your skin tone, you can see like through it, and then there's tattoos on the sleeve that makes you appear to have.
That's
Yeah.
really stupid.
The only time I saw it that was funny was when Colin Kaepernick was a football player, was quarterback for the 49ers. When he got really popular, all his teammates got his sleeves like printed on arm sleeves and started wearing them on the team. I thought that was pretty cool, but
See, I like that.
I don't know.
that's
fine.
the only other reason.
I don't know if they're stupid. I kind of like the idea. Like you want to have a
If you're,
tattoo
like-
one day and you put that on. You don't want to have a tattoo the
If
next day.
you-
You take it off. You want to have a different tattoo
But-
on. You put another one on.
If you're trying to
know.
give the impression, and this may have
Okay.
taken a different turn, but let's say you're single and you bring a nice lady or fella home, whatever you are, and you're getting ready for bed, and you pull off your tattoos.
Hold on. Let me take off my tattoos real quick.
I mean, maybe, you're still the type she wants, personality-wise, and physically you're still in shape. It's not like it makes you look in shape. But that's a pretty big, it's honestly like a wig.
Is it any different than the makeup coming off?
No.
And you
Shoot.
You
Always
stripping
go
it down?
swimming first
Because,
date.
like, think about this.
I'm joking.
Makeup comes off every day. Ladies, please take your makeup off every night. It's not good for your skin to leave it on. But it comes off every
Dermatologist.
day, and they put it back on. Like, I guess the tattoo is in a sense like makeup, but people who've got tattoos, like you, me, this took someone hours and
Yeah.
hours of their life, and it cost us hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Just this was the fucking grand for me.
Oh.
Just the half was a grand.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
love
the
tattoos.
bottom part of my forearm here, not even counting this top part, the bottom part of my forearm here was at least $1,500.
That's a stimulus check and $300 for those of you who can't do math.
Yeah,
But
just
it-
from the elbow down. Not counting my half sleeve up here that's not finished and my other finished half sleeve. Like, I've probably got $3,000 easy on my body. So to tell me, like, you're wearing, like, a sleeve that is a print.
I think the only time that it might be cool outside of athletics, it might be cool in athletics, but if you're like a model and you're trying to do different modeling shoots and you want to rock a different tattoo for your shoots.
If it blends in enough, yeah. I mean, I get that. Like, hey, we need a tattooed guy.
Right.
You can throw this sleeve on to land the role. I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that.
But, like, if you're going out in general public and trying to portray yourself as a person with tattoos, like, what happens when someone goes, hey, man, nice work? Where'd
you get it done?
Thanks, Amazon.
Thanks.
I got them on Amazon. People are like, what?
I got it last night.
How long did it take to get those? Like 2 seconds.
I'm on Amazon Prime, so 1 day free shipping. Like, they're like, what the fuck?
I got that instant checkout, so I just hit buy now, and it came to my house.
That's what I'm saying. Like, every time, not even trying to toot my own horn here, because all I had to do was lay there for this. I have no talent towards this other than being the canvas whatsoever. Anytime someone compliments this, I don't care how annoyed they look, I instantly just reference my tattoo artist. I'm like, thanks, this was done by Ryan at Divination Tattoo. Awesome guy, does really great work. I can't really take credit for a tattoo. You know what I'm saying?
It's my skin.
Thanks, I bought it. Like, that, you know, I could say that, or I can immediately tell you who actually did the artwork.
I don't know. I had the idea for mine,
it.
but I shout out to Tina. She I literally was like, this is what I want. She goes, okay, well, I'm gonna draw this and then we'll put it on your arm and you tell me what you think. And then she freehand everything else, which scared the shit out of me when I first did it. But it turned out good, so I fucking shout out to her, dude. That was all creative. Like, I had an idea and she made it into an art.
Yeah, my girlfriend now, ex-girlfriend at the time, ironically, sent me a picture of this Harley Quinn Joker on my forearm that was just the black and white drawn up. And nobody had bought it, and he drew it like 4 months before or whatever, and he's like, still available. And she sent me like his post and was like, you should get this. And it was like, you're right, I should. Like, that's literally what I sent back. And I immediately messaged him, and I was like, did anybody take this? He's like, no. And I was like, it's mine. I want it. Like, how much? And I had to put down the money, and I went in there, and 5.5 hours later, both sittings, by the way.
Was it per hour, or did he just give you a
He did a per hour, but yeah, I had to do like $150 deposit at the time just to confirm and everything. And then he did the Harley Quinn and Joker. He did color and outline and everything in one sitting, 4.5 hours.
What's the most painful part, both of you?
Mine was shading. The shading
really?
the shading on mine fucking killed me.
So, you don't have anything quite this low, but right on the inside of your wrist here, this is sensitive. And it's kind of creepy because for people who may not have tattoos, it's a needle jamming into you thousands and thousands of times in seconds. Per second, per second. It's a very sensitive area here, the wrist, and it starts bleeding like a lot, like instantaneously. And so before you have any color here to like take away from it, and they're just drawing the line, you see a lot of blood just like coming out of your wrist, and you're like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
A little creepy.
But that hurt, especially right there. And then on the flip side, there's this little kind of bone right in your wrist. That doesn't feel good.
Right on the bone.
Mine right in here. Once I got closer to the elbow.
Yeah, I've got my elbow covered right here a little bit, and that that was pretty tender right there. All right, on the
funny bone.
Because it's not even the fact that a needle's hitting you anymore. There's like an added vibration of like dun 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 dun,
bone,
and you're like, oh. But also, I mean, even I've only got tiny lines. Like starts right in there. That hurts on the inside of your biceps.
Right
pretty
here.
sensitive.
Right here, fucking.
Oh yeah, I've got a little bit more on this side.
And right under here is where
I didn't realize yours went all the way around your arm.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
That's what this was supposed to be originally, but.
Well, everyone, like, when I first started working at Orange Theory, I don't think anybody knew until I finally took it off to work out at Orange Theory. because I always worked out or
I had
worked
no idea.
with long sleeves
Yeah, every
on,
time
so
he
it's
came
just
in in the
it was a
morning.
business thing. Like it was just try and keep a certain.
But
I-
You were always
identity, I
wearing
guess.
jackets. And
I've
hoodies.
heard
It was because the
Like,
long
damn,
sleeves.
bro, you hot?
The
Like,
long. No,
shoot.
I really wasn't ever really hot, but it was to cover my arms.
I've
That
heard
was
the
it.
worst, and there's a tattoo artist that comes into where I work. Shout out to Alex, also at Divination Tattoo. I mean, he's almost head to toe. He's got face tattoos, so side of his head, he said, was pretty bad, honestly. Back of the head's
I couldn't.
not fun.
No, I couldn't.
I've heard from numerous people collarbone is not
Oh,
good. My
that just
girlfriend has
feels
collarbone,
weird
and she
touching
said
it.
that also she has like kind of right underneath her chest area here, her breasts,
Yeah,
and
right on the
that
sternum.
right the sternum.
Sternum.
It goes up into her sternum a little bit, and it's like right underneath. But that probably didn't feel too good, I imagine.
Yeah.
And
I've
I've heard
like
feet.
the rib cage.
Rib cages, I've heard one of the top ones. I eventually want to get something around that area,
Mhm.
but that's one deterrent.
I feel like that's
You
where I
want-
would get one if I got one. I don't have one. I don't know what
I've
to
only
get,
had it on my arms. That's the only desire I've wanted to get both of my arms.
I like seeing
Eventually
my own
done.
Full
tattoos.
sleeves?
Yeah, on both my arms, but I've never had a desire anywhere else.
I want at some point finish coloring up this one, finish this form. I want to get this arm full color, this arm all black and white,
Yeah.
and then in the middle have something kind of connect across like my collarbone and on a chest piece right
You
there.
could have an
Gotta-
artist coloring onto the other side.
I've got a buddy of mine.
Well, I want some Rick and Morty stuff, so we'll see what
That
happens
works. That's
there.
colorful.
I've got a buddy of mine who's got a tattoo right across his throat right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right here. So we were working at Enterprise, and you had to wear ties. So it covered up here. So he was like, fuck it. Gonna get one there. Wanted it. It says live free right there. Not shitting you. A week later, they cut out the ties. So you can have a button-up shirt, and you can leave it undone. He has to keep wearing a tie. Or he did when he was working there. He had to keep wearing a tie because he fucking got a tattoo right across his throat.
No regrets.
No, live free. The motherfucker's got a lot of tattoos. They all are cool. I think he's got Courage the Cowardly Dog, or is that you that has it?
I don't have courage.
Nah, it's definitely Zach that's got,
got-
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I got other nerdy shit. I've got obviously Batman animated series here. This whole sleeve's dedicated to Spider-Man. Spider-Man's on my back shoulder over here. Watching my back.
Yeah, I haven't decided. I gotta finish this one
He-
before I even think about
He
what I want
web
to put over
flips
here.
everybody.
Spider-Man.
That's a funny story. That's a gift from my best friend. Shout out to Kent, who was amateur bodybuilder and placed 5th in his competition that year in pro division as well.
That's
so
tough.
that's
some
tough. And his
shit.
first ever time competing.
Yeah, that's some
And then
tough
strongman
shit.
competition switched over to strongman because that's a little bit more lenient on what you can do diet wise and just restriction. He doesn't have to cut all the crap down. He can keep his full mass, which is more beneficial for strongmen. And his weight division, he was at like 185. He was North Carolina state champ in strongman. And I think he put up like competing numbers with the strong, like heavier divisions. But due to COVID, he was going to compete in national competition, I think in June, which he would have won most. He said, just judging by the amounts he was putting up practicing for it. And
How
then
much
this
did he
all
weigh? What was his
he
weight?
was at that time like 185, 190, and now he's back up to like 205.
Shoot.
So I think he's still going to be in the same division. So he'll probably cut, and he's a former wrestler, so he'll cut down fine. He knows how to do it, but now he has to compete. He said he doesn't technically have to compete again to go to nationals, but he wants to win the North Carolina State Championship again just to like stay fresh on it kind of thing.
Makes
And
sense.
then go into nationals, hopefully, I guess, next year, I think it would probably be.
Do bodybuilders have tattoos? I can't think of one that has a tattoo.
He told
I
me
feel like it.
they do.
Yeah?
They
Yeah.
absolutely do. There's some with some that have been successful and everything, but he said it's not really
'Cause do-
conducive.
Doesn't it
it's
take
not,
away from
It
like
doesn't
look
help.
seeing
it
your
doesn't
cut
help. It
and stuff like that?
exactly. The shading can take away from certain body lines and cuts on them. So if you're like covered like you or I, they're probably missing out on a lot of muscular actual structure
Mm-hmm.
because of just I can't see it. Like there's black,
Right.
there's yellow, green, purple. Like fuck.
Yo, shout out to anybody that can do that. The dieting is just insane. You know, I could
Which
work out
now
all
he's-
day, but you try and tell me I can't,
When
drink a beer, eat some fucking ice
But
cream
it's
on
only
the weekend.
how long? Like maybe 6
So
months?
he
If
stopped
you wanna do
training.
it
He
smart?
stopped training
3
because of
months?
COVID.
Okay,
How
try
long?
3 months of no drinking beer.
I mean, if you're doing something you love, I could do it.
You sure?
If you
If I'm
if
dedicated
you
to that, I
two,
want to be the best
No
at
bad food.
here's how
it.
easy
It
it
would
would
be.
be.
I'm not saying it would be easy, but
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely think I could
Here's
do
how easy it would be for me. If you two, like, for some reason, as a prank, sign me up for some big wrestling tournament in, like,
it. Let me
6
get my
months.
notepad out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's take some notes.
If you want to, I kind of encourage this. I would instantly get back into, like, kind of like Mike Tyson is now, where he's back in his fucking,
Yo,
like,
dude,
He
mode.
looks like an animal.
I'm not saying I'm that equivalent, but I would get back in that training mode. Like,
Yeah.
no sugar, no alcohol. I'd keep partaking in some vitamins, but other than that, I'd get ready for the competition. And
Is it considered a vitamin?
it's a
or
vitamin. It's an
herb?
herbal
An
vitamin.
Herb.
I
Herb.
take my
Not
essential
herb,
vitamins.
herb.
But anyway, yeah, dude, I would get back into it, and I would take that. Even though I don't know how well I'm gonna do, I haven't really trained in a long time. But I've always said this to anybody: like, if somebody walked up, not that I would get an opportunity or worth it or anything, but if they were like, "You got to fight Brock Lesnar in 6 months," I'd-
just get your funeral
I'm-
set up.
Yeah.
well, here's the thing:
a
I'm
big
not
boy.
afraid of that fight. Do I realistically know I'm probably not gonna win? Yeah, who the fuck made these?
Right.
Who fuck made this matchup? But
How much you weigh right now?
mentally, all right, fuck it. Like, I'm signed up for this fight. I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna do what I can do in the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, my mentality.
I
Is
get it. Okay, I'm just thinking it's just like I'm
wanna
imagining
see that fight now.
one big ass punch to your dome, and it's just
oh, dude, his fist is
lights
like
out.
as wide as my head.
That man's traps are as wide as your head.
Okay, would you
Forget that.
Would you rather wrestle Brock Lesnar or take a boxing match against Mike Tyson?
I'd
Here's
rather
a-
wrestle
hold
Brock
on.
Lesnar.
Me too.
Hold on, my
I'm not getting
Me
punched by
too.
Mike Tyson.
Dude, Mike Tyson
no,
put
no,
me
no.
on my ass.
Yeah, Mike. I'm probably gonna take Brock Lesnar because I've wrestled too, but a lot of people sleep on the fact that Brock Lesnar was a 2-time All-American for University of Minnesota. He
You're
got
not getting
runner-up.
punched by
He
Brock
got
Lesnar.
runner-up
Oh, I'm not sleeping on that.
to Stephen Neal.
But I will be sleeping if Mike Tyson punches me in the face.
Oh, Mike Tyson's ending your. He's changing something about your life.
Right.
Like Khabib Nurmagomedov said. Nailed that pronunciation, by the way.
Congratulations.
I will change your face. Mike
That's good,
Tyson will
y'all.
change a physical feature about you. Thank
Little
you.
claps. Baby
I was
claps,
giving you
baby
props. No one else gave you props in here
I
other than
said-
yourself. Fuck,
I said
Emerson.
congratulations.
Which that's a whole
beat you
other.
to it.
Sarcastically.
I don't want to overbloat this with MMA and stuff, but like that whole mentality. Just saying, like, if you put that in front of me, and like it's even more so if I don't sign up for it. Like, that's why I loved being on a team, because like competitions were scheduled. It wasn't like, I'm good. Like, I
Right.
don't really want to do that. Like, now that I'm out of it, I can openly choose when I want to go wrestle in an open tournament.
True.
But even if somebody that weren't wrestling coaches of mine's like, we signed you up for a wrestling tournament because
I'm gonna look.
blah, blah,
some
blah,
up.
blah, blah. I would start training. I doubt they'll be able to hold them.
There's
now.
not going to be any
Which-
right now. 'Cause
Oh,
of
This
you're
can
right.
lead into
COVID.
one of our main topics we want to talk about, sports.
Oh, yeah.
We can start with college level because
Hold
with
on,
football
hold on,
at least.
Hold on. I want to hear your story. You're talking about to lead into this that we just kind of skipped over. You had a funny story you were going to tell
Funny
about your
story.
day. I thought
Oh.
you did.
Day thus far.
Yeah, it's funny to everyone else.
It's
So
funny to
I wanted to hear
watch.
that before we jumped
anybody,
into everything else too.
anybody that doesn't know,
Stuck in my brain.
I have 2 dogs. One's named Peter Barker. Obvious for obvious reasons. The other one we just
Did not
adopted
know it
a
was
new.
Barker. I just knew it was Peter.
No,
But I
Peter
didn't know it
Barker.
was-
So Peter Barker, and then we just adopted a newer pup to the world. His name is Winston Barker, named after Winston Bishop from the show New Girl, which I love that show.
Perfect.
I don't give a fuck if you judge me for it. It's a great show. It's
Never
a great
seen
show.
it. Never
It's a
seen
great.
it.
You would like it a lot.
I've seen bits and pieces.
Apparently,
It's actually
I'm an
not bad.
identical. I'm an identical clone copy of Nick Miller from the show, which anybody that knows me will probably confirm that in a
Which
heartbeat.
one is he in the show?
He's the like. I hate to describe it this way, but like lazy, kind of like.
Okay.
I wouldn't consider you.
He's the bartender.
Okay.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Well, you did bartend.
Yeah, I did. I was a bartender for a while, so. But Anyway, I got this new dog. He's about 9 months old now. We've had him for about a month since we adopted him. And I left earlier, even before you guys got here, to bring Rebecca some lunch at work. It's going for a maximum of 15 minutes. And so I come back, and this guy has chewed through a power cord that we keep in our little tool area for charging our power drill.
Good boy.
So he chewed through that. It's not a big deal because he chewed through it enough to where I can probably splice it back together. Some context, he also chewed through our refrigerator cord one day while we were gone.
Ooh.
And I had to do the same thing to the refrigerator cord.
Minor electrician over here.
I took electrical trades in high school.
Did you really?
Yeah, 1 and 2. I can wire most
Interesting.
basic electronics. But anyway, so he does that. And I'm like, no, I'm scolding him like bad boy kind of thing. Don't do that. And he starts getting nervous and proceeds to start peeing.
You asked for
So
it. I'm
I
just gonna
kind
be
of
honest.
did. I should have let him out first, then brought him back scolded, but I was just kind of like in the moment. And so I just say, screw this. And I pick him up right up underneath his arms, and I'm carrying him. And
Is
he's
he still
just
peeing?
Oh.
I mean,
I love it.
all over the place. And I put him at the bottom of the stairs, and he goes down in the yard, and he starts feeling guilty and sad. So he lays on the ground, but he's still peeing on himself. So I'm like, thanks. This is just great. You went outside and still peed on yourself, so I got to clean you anyways.
Oh my
So I finished
God.
cleaning up the house, the mess that he made with the wires. I really hope he didn't eat any of the wires, but to be honest with you guys, I've seen him chew up some hard plastic things and poop it out just fine, so this guy's a trooper. But, so anyway, I clean him up and everything and let him back in. Then Sawyer and Emerson here show up. He's all excited. I don't know if it was him or Peter, but gouges Emerson up, punches Sawyer in the nuts twice. Twice with
Oh shit, that's all the way down.
Giant scratch from here.
it looks like Wolverine came
the
at
way up to
Emerson
here.
for a bit.
I
And
was bleeding.
he
Had no idea I
targeted
was bleeding.
Sawyer's nuts definitively twice.
Dude, it was like pinpoint
It was a direct
accuracy.
shot. It was a
Caught
nice
me
shot.
as soon as I walked in the door. I was like, oh my god. And then I come.
Paw. He hit
I,
you with the paw?
so I
And
brought.
then he-
Yeah, twice.
Damn, it wasn't
And
even
then
just
the
like a
second
headbutt.
time he goes up onto the couch and Sawyer's back in the living room and he runs off of the couch and pounces up off the floor with like both paws and nose right
From
into
the top
Sawyer's
rope.
crotch.
He did not want you
Dude,
to
he
have
went top
kids.
rope.
So
No.
anyway, that happened. I let him out again. I didn't know this while we were setting up in here, but apparently the guy throws up out here in the kitchen because he just won't stop eating grass and kudzu outside that I've cut down. So I cleaned that up. Then I have a Bloody Mary, which was going to be my signature start-off podcast drink, which is now a lemonade and
Oh,
Grey
yeah.
Goose.
Luckily, that was the only thing that got
And so he comes in
knocked
and
over.
with all of our extremely expensive laptops, cameras, TVs, cords, everything we've got in here, managed to only target and knock over my Bloody Mary, which when it hit the ground looked like a crime scene instantaneously.
murdered.
It looked like a bad scene in here. Shout out to Emerson for cleaning that up because while I yelled at him for that, he proceeded to get nervous and pee again in the kitchen. and
all
I
I
let him out, and he peed all the way down the stairs and into the yard. And then he went poop like a good boy, and then I brought him back in, and he's been periodically whining from the other side of the doggy gate.
Well, while you were
That
doing all
was-
that, I was in here trying to figure all this shit out, and Emerson's cleaning it up, and I was like, damn, he's just out there slamming doors, stomping his feet. He
Dude,
must
I
be
was
pissed.
mad. I was so mad. And then I took some vitamins, and I've calmed down since then.
But we do love dogs. Dogs are the greatest.
I love him to
creation
death.
to
He is the
humanity.
biggest,
We don't deserve
saggiest
dogs.
faced,
Don't
most
deserve dogs.
lovable hunk ever. He's only 9 months old, and he's already like 70 pounds. I don't think he quite understands what his body is doing, and that's
Peter seems a lot more calm.
That's
I don't
what
know.
I was saying.
I don't
was
know
like, damn.
if Winston's that much more hyper and it's just kind of diluting it, but Peter looks
I
like
think
super
Peter
calm.
chilled out
When
because
you got a brother,
literally,
for sure.
I don't know what it is. So when we like leave the house, we keep Peter in the living room, and he has access to our living room and bedroom. And we keep Winston on the other half of the house where he has access to like kitchen and hallway kind of area.
Yeah.
Winston will usually find something to chew up. Yesterday, he chewed up one of Rebecca's painting canvases that happened to fall off a shelf, and he pulled it out from underneath the desk and chewed it up. I have a dog camera in here now, and I watched him having a grand old time with that canvas.
You better hide your Funkos, dude.
Oh, we don't have him in an area he can get to.
Okay. That's
Although
good.
one day I did leave, and I left this room open.
Oh God,
He didn't do anything to this room.
that's good.
But Peter hasn't chewed up anything. And usually when it was just Peter and we left him in the whole house, there was something. Like a piece of paper, a junk mail, something he could pull off the counter, a napkin, a paper towel, something like that. He would do it. But since then, Peter hasn't chewed a single thing.
You should experiment and change the sides the dogs are in.
I would, but I feel like Peter already feels a little kind of down. Because not that we give Winston more attention, but
just kinda
Winston
needs it right
actively.
now, so-
Yes, exactly. Winston demands it more by Peter will walk up to you and be like, hey,
Hey, man, I'm
Winston
still
will
here.
come up and lay on your face.
Well,
and
he's also
just
still
kinda
learning,
be like,
so you gotta
Right.
give more attention to train him too.
we
so
do, and
makes
we
sense.
do, like, because he's very mouthy still, which when they play, it's fine. But then we look at like Peter's scruff under his neck, and he's still got those really sharp puppy teeth. And dude, it looks like
yeah.
a war zone under his neck.
Really?
But Peter will be like,
This is
just
great.
happy as, what do you want? And I'm like, dude, you've got like legit blood drawn in some spots. And he'll be like, and go back to playing. Like, he doesn't care. And I'm like, I guess, but that is like a defense mechanism. In some animals, they have that extra skin and scruff to defend
Oh,
from
definitely
bites
dogs,
Yeah.
too.
and everything. Like, for sure, dogs, like
Well,
wolves.
the
and
mother, they'll grab their pups by
They
the,
carry 'em.
by the
Cats,
scruff.
too.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that was a
also
great
ex-
story. I'm really
so
glad
other
I
than
cut
that,
it off. It was funny.
we dealt with that, and I got another drink, and then we got the podcast set up, put up some more decorations in here, and
If you didn't notice, the room looks way different than episode 1.
we've
Little bit.
received some
Just a little bit.
private sponsorships
Little
since
bit.
the
Private
last.
sponsorships from.
No, I recently got a sectional couch, which
I don't know.
both of you neglected to notice.
I did.
In my living
I
room.
did. No, he sent the picture, and I told him I was like, I feel like an asshole. I didn't even look at
No,
it.
but either way, I feel
This
like
mic
this
is
looks like a
installed.
more relaxed environment
what'd you
to.
do?
It
Bro.
keeps sliding off, dude. I don't know. Just keep going.
Glides.
I'll
Okay.
be back here.
So, sports related,
I'm gonna
high school. What's the new update?
So
for
we'll
that?
start level to level, I guess. We can go all the way up. So high school, at least in North Carolina, I don't speak for any other states, announced the new sports schedule for the 2020-2021 season.
I'm gonna mute you while he's talking, so we don't hear.
Um,
Keep going.
let me go to my photos real quick so I can pull up and give. I don't want to be biased here, so I want to give every sports schedule, at least that we have in our school. I know I was reaching back.
That's
But,
great. We're just
let's
having
see
all
here.
sorts of
We really are. We're just,
difficulties right now.
as you can tell, this is our second podcast, but
We're here for. Wait, you can't hear me. We're here for content.
so the first sport.
I thought it was good. What happened?
Bro, I kept sliding.
Anyways,
Sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, the first sport that will be competing, their first practice. Do we just need to wait?
No,
until this-
no.
keep
I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted. Go ahead.
The first sports that will their first practice November 4th, and their first contest will be November 16th.
We're good.
Their final regular season contest January 8th, and that's cross country and volleyball. Their season limit 10 meets, weekly limit 2 meets
I don't remember how many I ran in high school, but I feel like that's
for cross
pretty
country.
normal, right?
I don't know for cross country. I can't speak for that. I never
I can't
competed.
remember. I can't remember how many we
Volleyball
did.
season limit 14 games, weekly limit 2 games.
I feel like that's low.
Did you say football? Did you?
No,
you
that's
didn't bring.
that's cross country and volleyball in November. That's as soon as
So
they're able
that's-
to.
that's
That's
only
the
ones?
first sports able to start this
In
year.
November?
In North Carolina. And cross country running out in the cold in November.
Through January, you said, right?
Through January.
Bro. that's
I'm
gonna be
sorry, y'all.
miserable.
I'm so sorry for cross country people who have to deal with that. The next sport, I should say, would be swimming and diving. Their first practice can take place November 23rd. First contest December 7th.
I don't get that.
Final regular season contest January 30th. They can have 10 meets, 2 meets weekly.
See, I don't get that because pools are already open. I don't understand why you can't just.
I think it's the frequency of it.
See, what? How does that have anything
Minimizing. It's also minimizing audience and fans there.
do what the NBA is doing? Do what other sports are doing with no fans.
I have been told this by higher up people. In most schools, if football doesn't run with fans, most other sports don't happen. Bottom line.
Oh,
Really?
I was.
Oh, so they're trying to do this to
Whoa,
include
I'm
fans.
a
The gate.
dumbass. I was sitting here envisioning big ass fans on the fucking football
Sorry.
field.
Uh, no,
Don't
with,
know what.
with
People in the stands.
the gate.
That's
Mainly
what we're talking about.
the
Okay.
money.
Fanatics.
I'm
the
here.
money.
I'm
The
here.
money they
I'm here.
get from the gate pays for most other sports in the school.
Is that for your high school or for other?
My high
schools?
school, most other high schools where you have a relatively successul kind of
Yeah.
football program.
I would agree.
And in general, football pulls in more than any other sport because it's one of the more popular ones.
Gotcha.
Just in general. So that's swimming and diving. The next after that is basketball. First practice December 7th. First contest January 4th. Final regular season contest February 19th. Season limit 14 games.
So that's
Weekly
like
limit
half.
2 games. Oh, it gets
Li-
worse from here on out.
Is this all contingent on what? Like, is there something that
So
could
this
delay it
is the
even
plan
more?
they've laid out in the event that cases decline. This isn't even saying that by the time these sports roll around that they'll be able to run them. This is like, if we can run sports this year,
This is
this
how
is
we're doing
the
it.
schedule.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay.
So if they let us, that's basically what it is. Not even saying confirmed. Honestly, it's if we run sports this year, this is the schedule we will run on.
Okay.
Alright. Next sports, we've got soccer and lacrosse. So not every school has lacrosse, but
Right.
men's soccer, I should specifically say. First practice January 11th. First contest January 25th. Final regular season contest March 12th.
Just men's?
Are
No
you
women's?
serious?
That's men's. Women's comes up later.
Oh,
So they
okay,
essentially
okay.
turned a fall sport into a winter sport by doing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then the
Are they
men.
gonna practice
So
inside?
season limit 14 games, weekly limit 2 games. This is going to be almost across the board, guys, if I say a lot of the same numbers, so bear with me. I just want to be accurate. Lacrosse, men's and women's lacrosse, so that's both of them. 14 games, season limit, 2 games, weekly limit. Here's where a huge cut and where people have been upset about happened. Football. First practice February 8th.
What?
First contest February 26th. Final regular season contest April 9th. This is the kicker. Season limit 7 games.
How many they
Weekly
normally
limit
do?
1
16?
game. Obviously
How
football.
many they normally have? Like 16?
12.
12? Wow.
If you
that's
get
been a long
playoffs,
time since
if
I've-
you get to
Holy
playoffs,
shit.
14,
4 and a half.
15.
Is that every high school in
This
North
is
Carolina?
North Carolina.
Okay.
These are the rules for the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
So at least they're all
Look-
playing at the same time. Not
Yeah.
like the
This isn't like
NCAA.
Buncombe County just has this, or Rutherford County, or Haywood County, or
North
McDowell
Carolina.
County. It's
Okay.
every county, every school in North Carolina, except I think maybe private and charter schools can follow different kind of rules.
See, some of this doesn't make sense to me. The delays
Because they're, like,
in these
independent.
sports.
So
Look,
the next
the way it's
sports-
going, just be grateful you're getting a sport this year.
That's one of
Just
what the
be
wrestling
grateful,
coaches in my
'cause-
group chat mentioned. She's like, I'm just glad the kids at least have a date. Like this year, they
Like,
they
'cause-
have a timeline. They know, like, okay, they plan to have a season at least,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Like, because didn't.
Which they could have just canceled it. They could have, which
Just-
we'll get
you
to
coulda just
later
pulled
in
the
other
sport.
major sporting divisions. But the next sports coming up are golf, men's and women's, tennis, men's, women's soccer, and softball. All of those first practice March 1st, final contest March 15th, or first contest, excuse me, March 15th. Final regular season contest, April 30th. All of those sports, I'm just going to paraphrase it, are limited to 14 matches or games, and then 2 matches or games per week in their respective sports. So, and then finally, excuse me, we have 2 more things. Final 4 sports: baseball, women's tennis, track and field, and wrestling. Mm-hmm. First practice, April 12th. First contest, April 26th. Final regular season contest, June 11th.
That's past school, right?
That's essentially, I think they graduated on like June 12th last year or something. Or I don't really know due to COVID. I can't remember what happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
So
doesn't school
baseball.
start next week?
You know, Sawyer, you played baseball in high school. I don't know how much of a cut this is. 14 games total, 2 per week.
It's not a huge cut.
Okay.
I would say probably just like 25 or so would be your most you play. I feel like.
Shit, that's
I don't
11
really
games
remember.
till,
I don't really remember how the link. Like I
Okay.
don't remember how many meets we had in high school for cross country.
None of this
But
takes
I want-
into account
10
playoffs.
20 something games
No, so
sounds
I'm
right.
going to
though.
get to that at least in the sport that I know of.
Okay.
Tennis, women's, 14 matches total, 2 matches per week. Track and field, they get 10 meets total, 2 meets per week. Wrestling, 14 duels, 2 duels per week. I have a little bit more.
Tournaments?
No individual tournaments. No multi-team
Ooh, that's
competitions. To
That's
put this in
that's-
perspective, I had a kid on my team that placed 3rd in the state last year that ended the season 59-3. So he had 62 matches on the whole entire year. He can at most have 14 now. And
Yeah.
here's the kicker with at least my sport. They're
That's
not talking
crazy.
about individual regionals and state tournament. Those 14 duels are really just to get teams into the state duel playoffs for a state duel tournament.
I wonder what about
Which is, for people who don't know wrestling, a team versus a team. So it's not a kid winning the individual state champ like can happen normally in wrestling. This is for a whole entire team to win the state tournament.
Okay.
Like football. It'd be like
Okay.
a football playoff, just team versus team
hmm
in a wrestle-off. So
See,
I
that's
wonder
not that
what
bad.
would affect
But-
it, like wrestling tournaments outside of the school curriculum or the school not curriculum, but the school matches. I wonder.
there's
what,
none. Not in North Carolina. One of the biggest
But you can go to
tournaments in
Georgia-
North Carolina.
Go to
Say
other
Georgia,
states. Like,
South
do you have?
Carolina.
They're not going to
like,
let
what's-
you. If you're
how
from
are they
North
gonna know?
Carolina, you're probably not allowed to leave and go to an out-of-state tournament.
I want to know how they're going to monitor that.
I guess
Are you kidding me?
registration.
So as a head coach, they pay for your tournament. The school does. So if you
No,
go when
I'm
you
talking
go
about
up to
I go with a wrestling club, nothing to do with the
so
school
as
at
a head
all.
coach,
Go
as a
somewhere
head
else.
coach, you can't do that. You can't be associated with
I'm
your
not. I'm just
kids.
saying the kid. Like if I'm your wrestler, I'm gonna go out and do my wrestling tournaments.
You
That's
can
what I
go
gotta do to
do
get
that,
better.
but there's a lot that have already. Fargo's been canceled. Fargo, the biggest wrestling
Mhm.
tournament in the United States for high school and cadet and everything, canceled already. It was supposed to happen way back. So, Super 32 has been canceled. I think they're trying to hold it in another area, but I doubt they're going to get it passed.
I don't know.
At least with wrestling, to me, 14 duels, and when you come out of a conference like ours with 9 schools, so that means 8 of my matches have to at least be conference matches.
Right.
Regardless, you have to do your conference duels. Some of my kids aren't going to get the competition they need out of that, and vice
yeah,
versa.
that's,
Some
that's
will
where
be
I was
fine.
getting to the point with the wrestling tournaments. 'Cause
Yes.
You go find your competition.
But like that's what would
Go to
happen with
where the
these big
competition is.
individual tournaments. Like we would actually luckily have in Asheville, where like 45 schools came to last year. Schools from Tennessee, Georgia, Virginia, South Carolina, and all that came up. And we had a couple guys play second, but they got tested. And those were like the only couple matches they lost out all year were to out-of-state guys. I have no problem putting one of my seniors up this year for 14 duels and him going 14-0. But I also don't think in those 14 duels he's going to be tested.
right.
And that's not fair to him. That's not fair to him being a senior and his 3-time state qualifier. And ending his last season on an injury, so now he's really wanting to push to get into a college to wrestle, and now you get to have only 14 chances to try and impress, let alone if college coaches are even allowed to come recruit.
I was about to say, I wonder how it's going to affect
which
recruiting,
I'll get into
too.
when we.
No way. There's no
I'll
way
get
they
into
can.
when we break into college
I
football
doubt it.
too, because I was listening to stuff about that. So, and I'm almost guaranteed. I'd be willing to bet he goes 14-0 next year. Of course, there's not teams around here that have a kid near his weight that would give him a hard time. But I mean, maybe I'm talking confidently, but I just know from experience. When he wrestles locally, he dominates. When he gets out of that, he gets tested. He still wins and he's successful, but otherwise, and that's huge. Because if you're only doing state duels, I heard numerous coaches say, I would rather have the individual state tournament than the team state tournament. Because I can have 5 state champs and win as a team still. Whereas all these other kids basically get knocked out of an opportunity when they could be having the best year of their career.
It's going to, dude.
And wrestling's the highest risk. You can't not do the sport and
you
be
gotta
physical
be
contact
super
with
close.
the other person the whole time. We literally have a penalty called stalling, where if you're not doing anything for more than 10 seconds, you get hit with it.
How are they gonna? Okay, so on to a little bit of COVID testing. It's been taking some people 7 days to get their test results back. How the hell are you going to test athletes consistently to let them compete in wrestling, football,
I don't
baseball, anything?
know that. I do know the White House has a test that works
It goes in
20
minutes, yeah.
That's the White House, not North Carolina.
I
don't
know,
know.
but
AC Reynolds High School.
this
you know?
is one small side tangent I want to make. If they were truly a government for the people, they would release that test for free so all of us could live freely and more comfortably, but of course they don't. Back to the sports. Anyways.
Some truth, truth
I mean,
bombs.
as I know, if I was trying to do preseason workouts right now, which I don't know now that the new schedule is released how we can even go about it, because before we were planning on season starting September 1st.
Now it's March.
There's no sport. I mean, for me, April for no sport is starting till November.
That's insane.
So, and for preseason workouts, people would have to get temperature check every day, symptom check every day, wear a mask whenever you're not competing or not doing cardiovascular or drill activities, coaches and otherwise, 25 to an outdoor area, including coaches, 10 to an indoor area, including coaches. I don't think the weight room was even still allowed. They just recently, I think I mentioned this on the last podcast, allowed the ability to pass the balls to each other.
You mentioned that last
Yeah,
time.
so that was the most recent thing in athlete, in high school sports, practices, preseason practices. I don't know if that's going to kick back now that season isn't starting for another 3 months, 4 months, 3 months.
I don't know what really it just eating at me. It put myself in the shoes of a high school athlete who's trying to go play in college or whatever. All of this restricts how to better develop your game or your ability in that game or to get better, stuff like that. Not only that, let's just take, for example, since we're on wrestling topic, wrestling in North Carolina is not that good compared to other states. So that now limits to where recruiters are possibly going to go for these schools to go look at places. Now you're limited in the amount of times you got the exposure to do that. So then it really narrows it down that so if a recruiter's got word of this guy in Ohio that's going to go do something, he's going to go take the time to go check that guy out versus I'm not trying to talk shit, but other than the 3-time state qualifier in North Carolina.
The thing.
There's a big difference with that.
I mean,
it really hinders your ability to.
Here's a major thing, and tangenting this is kind of more college football, but I think it's going to be a trend nationwide. We'll see this season at least for sports. Miami University had the best recruiting class they've had since the early 90s and 80s because athletes are signing to local universities now
because they can't do college.
Because they can't go do college visits. College visits are not allowed right now. So and recruiters can't come to you. They can only Zoom you right now. So I think a lot of athletes are well, this is down the road, or this is an hour and a half, 2 hours away in the same state where I know all these regulations are and what the conference is doing, I'm going to go here. And go ahead and maybe get a couple years in until shit gets back to normal, or whatever that means now.
Transfer?
Well, let's go ahead and get into that. I was listening to Pat McAfee's podcast show today and yesterday a little bit, and the Big Ten and Big 12?
Big Ten and Pac-12.
Big Ten and Pac-12 announced they are suspending their season till spring at the very least.
While Big 12, SEC, and ACC are going to maintain in the
September.
In
The September 26th, I
don't
think,
know
is
how
their
that's
start
gonna
date.
work.
So, can athletes transfer from Ohio State, Nebraska, Iowa,
Wisconsin,
Northwestern,
Oregon.
go play for an SEC school, go ahead and do that season, and what I've heard is possibly going to happen, a super conference between SEC, ACC, Big 12, and what they had a good point, A.J. Hawk said on the podcast, was former NFL player, Green Bay Packers, and Ohio State alumni.
Ohio State Buckeye, yeah.
But he said there's kind of some good things to possibly having only the top 20 schools playing in a season. Can you imagine the games we'll get having only the best of the best schools play each other?
Okay, but that completely cuts out.
But that cuts out
so-and-so who
Appalachian
went to
State.
App State, Northwestern, all these other schools
that cuts out
still have an
big
opportunity.
upsets and underdogs that are a major part in the sport.
App State against Michigan.
I mean, Boise State snuck in for what felt like thousands of years, and they got no credit forever.
Speaking of Northwestern, they were ranked in the top 25 as well.
I didn't even know that.
A couple years ago, they were having a fantastic season.
So, but do you do just a Southeastern championship and then a Northeastern championship?
I don't know. I saw something post with,
and then those two play each other.
It only really can fit with Texas, but taking all the big Texas schools,
which is the Big 12,
having a conference in of itself in Texas, and then you just have your state champion for this year, just to take over that. But that doesn't really take into fact other places. You would have here in North Carolina, you'd have NC State, North Carolina,
and Duke.
You'd have Duke.
Wilmington.
I mean, then
they're kind of tough.
If you want to blend the State.
ECU's a decent football school.
Well, does ETSU even have a football? I don't even think they do.
ETSU. Yeah, my buddy's a strength
coach. But I mean, you don't have the same quality as you do in Texas.
You don't have the same quality
as you do in Georgia or in Alabama.
Think about Notre Dame. They're
I would
independent.
still take that
they float around all the time.
Exactly.
I think they're doing the
regionally,
ACC.
They're up near the Big Ten.
Yeah, but I think they're in the ACC right now. I think they're along the ACC guidelines to play in September.
Because it's only football that's not in a conference.
To be honest, I don't imagine. I don't imagine a season happening this year.
I don't understand.
And I get these athletes
you can do a national championship with half the freaking teams playing in the spring, half the teams playing in the fall.
If they do, it's based on tradition and not necessarily, and it's gonna always have that asterisk by it because of what's going on.
If you had a North versus South,
the state.
Here's the other issue: one team's season ends in December, January. The other one picks up in April, March at the earliest. That other team's been off for 2 months.
Yeah.
And those guys are probably getting ready for the draft. How many players just say, I'm not going to play in your national championship game. I'm just going to opt into the draft.
Honestly.
Not taking a chance to get hurt.
And it's not even North
But who
or
wants
South.
to do that from the Big Ten or up north with all those schools?
Right.
Who says, I'll just go compete down here, get my time in, and then opt out for the draft in the spring? Who wants to play in the spring before the NFL draft?
Look, I know there's some athletes there, but I will name one only because I'm a huge Clemson fan. Trevor Lawrence wants to play, but if he doesn't play this season, he's got a number 1 draft pick locked up somewhere, possibly the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Justin Fields.
But he wants to play.
Trevor Lance, or what's his name? Noah Lance, something like that from North Dakota State.
I think the majority. I think you'd find the majority of the people will want to play versus just I'm just going to sit out.
Of course, they want to.
Although there will be people who are going to be like, I can go make money in the NFL. I'm not going to risk it. Okay, boom. They're going to do that.
If I was Trevor Lawrence, that's what I'd do.
But I never understood that.
If they don't let him compete this season, in fall, If I'm him, I just opt out.
See,
and take that number 1, or he's top 5 overall pick.
Me as an athlete, I just don't understand that. Even if I was in that position, I'd still want to play.
Well, to give an example,
I'd rather play than just sit out. Yeah, you got the chance of getting hurt. You got the chance of getting COVID, and it fucking with you. I don't know. It's just the competitive spirit in me, man. I'm not gonna sit there and watch other people and me be like,
Division I athlete.
I can do it better.
Dude, if you knew
I can go out there and compete harder than they're competing.
$50 million, or like, dude, if you just wait till April, you get 50 mil.
I'd still do it because money doesn't mean that to me. Like I don't give a shit about money like that.
I agree. It probably shouldn't to an athlete.
Mine
but
is out
at
there
the
for the love of the
At the end
sport.
of the day, these are college students, and even though a lot of them are in this limelight, projected commercials and stuff, they're not making a lot because a lot of it, unfortunately, goes to the crippling fucking entity that is the NCAA, which they're working to change that now, which I'm thankful for, but.
They can get endorsements now.
These
and
kids
stuff like
don't
that.
make a lot of money. And for them to be able, a lot of them come from a hard place and want to be able to instantly, I'm going to take care of my mom. I'm going to take care of my brother. I'm going to start working to get him a lawyer because he's been wrong. You know, a lot of them do that, like that you don't see projected on the mainstream. But a lot of these guys help their family out 99.9% of the time as soon as they get that big paycheck. Like, I've seen a lot of these rookies that come in, and their mom is in a 10 times more extravagant house than they are currently in. They're like, screw this, dude. My mom gave up too much for me to be here. I'm giving her that house. And to me, and I'm thankful to be in a position where my parents are pretty decent right now, but if I was in a position to wait a few months and be able to take care of my family for life, yeah, sorry. Like, and if the fact that I dislocate my knee, shoulder, anything in this upcoming season that I don't know if is technically going to matter in the history books, how do you pick a Heisman?
Well, here I want to kind of go into a little bit of what you're talking about. Some athletes will take advantage of their senior season to break out to become an NFL draft pick.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow
is
exactly
a 5th round pick. If he doesn't have this year.
Exactly. He's an Ohio State transfer, did not start, went to LSU, finally started, and breaks out, has one of the best seasons ever.
In history.
That man had an
Heisman,
NFL team with him as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but
I'm saying this because I'm still salty
Jerry
about the
Jeudy,
LSU
Justin
game 'cause they
Jefferson,
fucked us in the
Clyde
ass.
Edwards-Helaire. I mean, he was stacked, but...
What's sad is he's going to go to a program where the line is not as good as the college team he was on. His receivers were not as good as the receivers.
Hold on.
I wouldn't say that.
Dude.
AJ Green,
That-
Auden Tate.
It is very arguable that
John
LSU
Ross, if
offense
he
is
can-
probably the most dominant offense in NCAA history.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He had
Only
some
other
talent
player I would
around
think
him.
would be possibly more dominant in his time was Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush is disgusting. However,
Or
he did
Barry
cheat.
Sanders averaging 223 yards per game rushing.
Oklahoma
Look, and
State.
also, I wanted to touch on this too. You're not guaranteed you're going to get all that money. Because you can go in and flop in the NFL and not
Your
get
rookie
shit.
contract, you're guaranteed.
Okay.
But a lot of guys, that's what I'm saying. A lot of guys use their senior season to move up in the draft because, let's be honest,
Justin Fields.
Your rookie contract in terms of the rest of the people in the NFL is shit. Your rookie contract is shit unless you're in the first round. It's absolute shit.
It is. You're right.
In relative terms, $1 million is a lot of money. However, in relative terms to your draft position, it's shit. So a lot of guys, Joe Burrow, a few others.
You're
are
making
using,
significantly less than the average around
Right,
the league.
right.
Like Joe Burrow's making not nearly as much as the average quarterback salary in the NFL right now.
Right.
But he's making, in comparison to whatever he was making.
He's going from nothing to a couple million. Yeah,
I
get that.
don't
So-
believe he didn't get paid anything while you're in college.
Nobody believes any of. I mean, obviously.
Come on.
Every.
And
If
plus,
you're
they
at a
got great
big Division
facilities
I
too.
school-
Like,
Although
You're
I
taken
have
care
heard,
of.
and this has been a lot on the Pat McAfee podcast, that the Bengals organization and facilities are like the worst in the NFL. They have no indoor facilities, like fields. They have weight rooms and shit, but they're cheap. They don't. it's not like a good organization to be a part of to try and be successful.
Well,
Which
I'm a
shout
Cleveland
out
Browns
to Joe
fan, so
Joe Mixon, who's
screw
rushed
the
for
Bengals.
Joe Mixon on the Bengals
He's a
has rushed
baller.
for like 1,000
LSU
yards
product.
5 straight years.
Yeah.
He's low key one of the better backs and most consistent in the NFL.
He's been top 10 for about 5 years now.
Yeah, and
Arguably.
they honestly Giovanni Bernard, that guy's no
He was
slouch.
always very good.
Yeah.
I need to back
UNC
up.
product.
I need to back up because I just realized what I was saying earlier about he's going in. I meant in comparison to the competition, the O-line that he was with and the receivers that he was with compared to everybody else. Going in comparison
Absolutely.
to
Any
talent of what he's
NFL
going
team.
into, is he was better at LSU than what he's going to get in the NFL. Like with the competition
The
that they're playing
Dolphins
against
would
in the
have
NFL
dominated
versus
the
the
LSU
competition with
Tigers.
college.
Right.
That's
I hate
what I
that
meant.
argument of like the
Oh,
national
Alabama
champ.
will beat up on the Browns when the Browns were 0-17.
No.
They wouldn't.
They really would.
They would not.
Because I'd love to see you defend against fucking Miles Garrett coming off the edge
'Cause
after
you're
like
not
3
going to.
years in the league.
Because
now.
the NFL team is made up of
He's
the
beating
best
people with
players
helmets.
of those teams that you're playing against.
Can we go to this now?
Yeah, if you want. There's the red lighter's probably the better one up there.
Okay. Do you have something to like ash it in?
Use a glass.
Yeah, but what if I want to drink out of that?
There's
I'll grab
another
something
one.
real quick. Hold on.
We are going to take a
We can
quick.
talk. We can talk.
Okay. Austin's gonna go get some.
Let me ask
stuff.
you this.
Yeah, let's go.
Because I feel like I was on the opposite of Austin's opinion here. If you have that option, you're in Trevor Lawrence's shoes, are you still playing? Or just anyone who's going to be like Joe Burrow, if it
Are we
was
talking about
happening
they're gonna play in the fall or the spring?
whenever they're allowed to play, are you going to play? Or are you
If
going
I-
to wait?
Do you play your
Personally-
senior season?
Do
Or
you play
junior
your
season.
Okay. If it's in the spring, and I've already done enough to secure myself a draft pick, no.
And I think I'm
If it's
different
in
too
the
because
fall,
that's
absolutely.
a every down. There's contact. There's possible injury. I'm think maybe it's because I've not played that, but like with baseball, I'm probably playing. You still
'Cause-
have the like you're still gonna the possibility of getting hurt is still there, but it's a
Bro,
lot less than football because it's a constant
some
contact sport.
some guys that know they're getting drafted in
Think
the first
of-
round. It doesn't matter where. They're already questioning whether they want to play deep into the NCAA playoffs.
Think of Tua.
Like the Bosa's. I think
think
the
of
Bosa's were
Tua.
a couple that did that.
Think of Tua.
Right, he got it.
He was the projected. The whole campaign into that college season was tank for Tua.
right.
Like which NFL team would tank to get Tua?
But that is someone.
And he gets hurt for 5 games, I think, 4 or 5 games.
Still got
And he
drafted
got
6th.
5th overall. But there's arguable that he stays number 1 overall pick, and Alabama could beat Joe Burrow.
Okay. Who was the Georgia running back?
Did they
that
beat- wait, did he
absolutely
beat them?
Dominates everybody for the Rams right now.
Todd Gurley.
That motherfucker blew both of his fucking knees out and still
Look how
went
he's been
high
now, though.
and running over everybody.
Not this
No,
season.
he's been on.
There's
a
no
down.
This
season
season
this
was
season.
bad.
He's been on a down.
And they
Okay.
traded
downward
him.
path.
That
Or he
motherfucker.
signed somewhere else.
Look,
He's not on the
but
Rams.
Yeah, he is.
but look at the
No.
look at the lifespan.
Todd Gurley?
Oh, he's on
Look,
the Falcons.
look at
Yeah,
the-
he went to
okay.
the Falcons.
But look at the lifespan of a running back. It's
3-4
not very
years.
li- How
Other
long
than
has he been in
fucking
there?
Adrian Peterson.
How long has he been in
My
there?
dude.
Do we know how long Todd Gurley's been in that? For
5
now?
years?
No,
4
he's
years?
been, I think, 6 or 7.
So he's gone
We gotta turn
past
the TV
the
back on.
lifespan of a running back too, with having those injuries. That's the argument I'm trying to make. Like that doesn't necessarily stop you from getting to where you're going to be at.
right.
I think me speculating here, I think Tua was overrated for a quarterback position. I think
I really
personally,
hope
I think
not.
he was
He got
overrated for the
same hype
quarterback.
level as who was the Ohio State quarterback that came in?
JT Barrett.
No, not JT Barrett. Who
Cardell?
was- yes, Cardell. He had the same hype level as Cardell Jones when Cardell came in and was throwing bombs against Alabama,
He came in
Oregon.
for like 6 games, though. Tua did it for 2 seasons.
I just have to say I have mad
And
respect
Tua
for Jalen
came
Hurts.
in and
I
did the
fucking
same thing
love
Cardell
that
did.
motherfucker.
Jalen
what I'm
Hurts
saying.
goes
I
down.
love Jalen Hurts. He might have fucking
So,
petered off, but I just love that
I watched
dude's-
an NFL simulation
passion
where
hard.
they did he
That man
simmed
works hard.
he simmed Joe Burrow's career for like 15 years, Tua's career for 15 years. And during a common thing during their careers was Jalen Hurts won MVP like 3 times, won like 4 Super Bowls, and so he simmed like Jalen Hurts' career.
Versus Tua?
Just in general, like Jalen Hurts' career overall in franchise mode. That's what all of these were. And Jalen Hurts ended up winning MVP like twice. One of them, I'll take it. One of those, by the way, everyone, this is a CBD joint. Completely legal. You can buy these at any CBD dispensary.
CBD.
Okay, Todd Gurley's been in the league for 5 years now. This will be his 6th year.
Okay. He's outlived the running back lifespan. The average lifespan.
Is that still the average, though?
They say 3 years now.
I thought it was 3 to 4. Like, you don't expect your running back to be around that long.
Adrian Peterson was the last of that breed that could...
And no, Frank Gore. You better give Frank Gore
Frank
some
Gore's a
credit.
monster, but
that
he's
dude,
not producing.
the thing I'm trying to
He's
say
not
is
producing?
he blew up both
Okay,
of his knees and is
Let's
still...
compare Frank Gore to Adrian
He
Peterson.
was on the Dolphins for a year. I appreciate that, man.
Look, someone's already done it for us. Perfect. Let's look up this.
Frank
NFL
Gore's like
comparison.
what, 3rd all-time rushing? 2nd? He's
Alright.
top 5. I know that for a fact.
Let's
Look how long Adrian Peterson was in the league.
He's still in the league. And since
They-
Darius
they both
Geis
are.
just
True.
got released from the Washington football team, did you guys hear about that?
But you gotta admit,
didn't.
there's some
Darius
freaking
Geis
nature
got
athletes,
caught
dude.
with, well, it's now coming up. He's been charged with 3 assault charges against his girlfriend in March, April, and May. 3 months back to back. So they released him. That means Adrian Peterson is the number 1 back on their depth chart.
Okay, y'all got it. Frank Gore has played 50 more games than Adrian Peterson. Has rushed for 500 more
That's games
yards.
started.
That's-
That's not
but
games
that's
played.
an
That's
arguable
games
thing.
started.
Or attempts, sorry.
I was getting, 500
started.
more attempts?
500 more attempts.
But look where Adrian is on the rushing yards. He's close.
He is 10,000, or no, he's 1,000 rushing yards behind him.
10,000.
But he's,
yeah,
I don't think he's played,
Bitch, I just threw out the cherry. Fuck me.
I
Go
don't
on.
think Adrian's played as long as Frank Gore has,
He has.
timeline.
I don't. Well,
So-
let's compare their seasons. 07 to 2019, 05. Okay, so Frank Gore's been in the league 2 more years. That's insane. 05 to 2019.
Miami grad Frank Gore, shout out.
Miami was arguably like
Ed
running back
Reed,
you.
Ray Lewis, Willis McGahee.
Yo,
Oh my gosh.
that was some bad boys back then. Let's see. Frank Gore's a better receiving back as well. He has,
Yeah, Adrian was
He's
never-
got 3,000 more yards from scrimmage than Adrian Peterson does. They're tied for fumbles. That's kind of crazy, actually. Okay, game started. Oh, that's playoffs. Oh, okay.
What
Yeah,
overall
so-
games played? Because it only says games started. I know there's
think
games
that's
he's
all
coming.
I think that's all they're kind of
Okay.
comparing.
Okay. But there's always just some of those freaking nature athletes out there that just
I don't know how
you just don't understand, but they fucking do it. You know?
they take care of their body. It's like LeBron James. It's like Tom Brady. These guys take care of their body, whether you hate him or not.
Tom
they
Brady's
take
just a
care of-
goat.
He is.
Tom Brady.
Fuck
Also,
you,
he's Tom Brady.
motherfucker.
I'm not the biggest fan, but I respect
Why?
him
Why are
for
you not the
everything
biggest
he
fan?
has done.
Why are you not the biggest fan? Oh, God, I did it again. What
I'm
the
a Browns fan, bro.
So why
Just-
can't you be a Tom Brady fan? Why
I
do you
just
hate
said
him?
I respect him, and I
But
do
why do
think
you hate
he's
him?
the GOAT.
Why do you hate him?
I didn't say I hated him.
I thought you said you
He
hated
said
him.
he hated him.
I
Why do you
fucking
hate him?
He's a Dolphins
Why?
fan.
I'll
Of
tell you,
course he
I
hates
Why
hate
do
him
you
because
hate
I
him?
got to play him 2 times a year, and we always beat
Yeah.
him in dramatic fashion in the
And then
last
they-
game of the year every fucking season. But
That's
that's
true.
not
So you
my
hate
opinion.
him because you beat him?
I hate him because the Dolphins suck all year. That we fucking beat the Patriots, who are like 14-2
In a game that doesn't
In
matter.
a
Tom
game
Brady
where
could
we're
just
already
chill if he
4-11.
wanted to. Right.
So why do you hate him?
Patriots are like 12 and 4.
I still don't get why you hate him.
I know that I had this
I didn't
argument
say I
with a
hated
guy
him.
that worked with.
I'm just saying. I've never heard a valuable.
I know
or
every
a value-
football team probably cheats to some capacity, but how many teams have been caught as many goddamn times
Once
as the Patriots?
they've been caught once.
Once?
Yes, Deflategate is a
The others-
bullshit.
Deflategate or the
No.
recording the sideline?
That is the only one. The recording one is the only one. That is the only one. Deflategate is bullshit.
Deflategate is not. It's not a real thing.
How is it not
It's
a real thing?
It's a controversy. It was. It did not. It was not actually proven.
That's it. It was not proven. Deflategate's bullshit.
They thought they found proof.
Trying to
but they
fucking
did
reach
not.
and grasp for straws. they can't fucking stand the Patriots keep winning, which is not gonna happen for a long fucking.
What
Well, I
do you
don't
mean?
say a
Y'all
long
got
fucking
Cam
time.
Newton now.
Dude, I'm actually really excited about that. I really am because
Well,
I feel
okay.
like it would be a great.
This will be a testament to Bill Belichick.
Yes. Well, I've always
I've heard
from
Jared
my best
Stidham's
friend.
not too bad either.
My best friend is always throwing.
I
it
watched
at
some
me.
highlights of him too.
There
He's a
is
boy.
no Patriots without Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. You can't have the Patriots dynasty that you've got without both of them.
You know something that
Which,
pisses
I
me
don't know.
off
We'll find out.
that I always
I just
forget?
think with Bill Belichick, the way he likes to run his team, you're here to win. We're not going to deal with your bullshit. You're not going to come. You're not going to come in and whine.
You saw AB?
You're not going to come in and be the star. Everyone's here to do the same job you're trying to do, and that's to win. And I think he's either going to get behind it and he's going to succeed with it because he's a freak athlete too. And I think he's a lot better than what. I think he's a lot better than what he. I think the Patriots can get out of him a lot more than what Carolina could, just because I don't think
agree.
Carolina.
I think
Patriots have one of the best lines as well.
I think you can ash that. I'm good. It's done. Or take the rest. But I think obviously the Patriots are going to be a run-heavy team next year.
Yeah,
They don't have the receiving core to support a offense like Tom Brady had.
Look, I'm
don't. Cam Newton's never been a throwing it 30 times a game kind of guy.
He's never got the protection to throw it 30 times.
That's
a
very
game.
true. He really
Very
has the
true.
protection.
But I don't think you should make Cam Newton throw it 15 to 30.
You don't have
times
to.
a
He can
game.
run it too.
That's
Like,
what
he
I'm
can throw
saying.
people
They're
off.
gonna
I don't
replicate
think
the
Bill
Ravens'
Belichick's gonna
offense.
put him in that. I don't think Bill Belichick's gonna give him that much responsibility, mainly because Cam Newton does have an injury past, and very minor injuries keep him out for a long time.
That's the thing about the Patriots. They don't just single it out. Like, they didn't just put it on Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady had moments where he'd throw that shit on his back, and he's like, all right, we're going to go down this field.
Like the
we're gonna
28-3 comeback in the playoffs.
We're going to
Super
fucking win this
Bowl.
game. Hop on. Now, that's just the character of the person there. That's not the coaching. I mean, I'm sure there was coaching involved with that, but you don't go out there and you can't coach that. That's something that the person just has.
See, I would take Peyton Manning over Tom Brady every day.
No.
I-
In what?
You can look at the
Where?
stat. I've had this
Where would you
argument
take
too.
him
But
then?
you can look at the stat line in comparison to Tom Brady.
All-time
and-
touchdowns leader.
Yeah.
After switching a team to a abysmal Denver Broncos team.
With Demaryius Thomas,
Dem-
Julius Thomas, who was the other?
Where's
receiver?
Julius Thomas now?
Look,
I don't. For that year, he was amazing.
Because of who?
look. You can say that with the Patriots too.
Think
though.
of what would have Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, or Dallas Clark have even been if Peyton Manning wasn't throwing them the ball.
Are you serious?
But there's arguments with Tom Brady too.
Marvin Harrison literally doesn't even get credit as probably the best receiver of all time.
Why would he? He wouldn't get credit for best receiver of all time.
Look up his stats and tell me he's not the best.
Look it up.
He is not.
Look up. There's no one with more consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, more consecutive 100-yard reception
Jerry
seasons.
Rice existed.
Okay,
or
look
Randy
up.
Moss.
I'm talking about producing for your team. Jerry Rice was not nearly as long as a productive receiver at the end. Marvin Harrison never switched teams at the end. Jerry Rice bounced from the Raiders to the blah, blah, blah.
While he's looking this up, to your original point, I can get the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady.
I would pick Peyton
picking
Manning
those
over
two.
Tom Brady every time.
I think it's a good pick, a phenomenal pick either way.
you
Biasly,
can't go wrong, but
because
I would personally pick Peyton.
you have to look at the character of each one and their
Do you want to win
competitiveness.
seasons? Do you want to win the Super Bowl?
I want the Super Bowl. Like, that's what I
Then
go.
you're
But-
picking Tom Brady.
That's why I would pick Tom
Yeah,
Brady.
that's
that's the
exactly.
argument where I was going with it. Is because you
Who
look
has
at the,
Tom Brady's competition been in Super Bowls, though?
Why does it matter?
Look,
He made it to the
look,
highest
look.
point and won.
just look
No,
at how
they-
many rings he's got on
They
his fucking
drudged
hands
the
right
Rams, absolutely demolished the Rams.
now. Just
Rams
look
made it there.
at how many rings he's got on his finger compared to anyone
I take his
else,
losses bigger than his
even
wins.
in history.
I give Joe Montana credit for rings than Tom Brady against
Up
those
until
fucking
last-
teams.
and
Up
until
against
the last
those
Super Bowl
teams,
Tom Brady won. Joe Montana was the GOAT. But now
No.
that Tom Brady has
just
won
because he has
again,
6, just because he has one more,
Are you gonna try and diminish a Super Bowl, like a Super Bowl season? Like, how are you gonna try
Absolutely.
and diminish a Super
because
Bowl
of the
season?
Deflategate, that's why.
I mean,
not that.
because it's Tom
I don't
Brady
care
in
if it's
there, and he
Deflategate.
broke Joe Montana's record.
It's not about Joe Montana's record, whatever you want to say. The
don't-
level of competition Tom Brady's been up against compared to the level of competition Joe Montana and teams of that era in general were up against, it's outrageous. Fuck, the tuck rule. The tuck rule was invented because of Tom Brady being an incompetent fucking fumbling in the snow in his home field advantage. They invented a whole rule to protect Tom Brady.
Why is that Tom Brady's fault?
Because in that game, they determined it was a incomplete pass that was never a rule before.
So that's
that
on
was
Tom
a fumble.
Brady? So
How was
that's
that
on
Tom Brady cheating then?
Yeah.
How was that Tom Brady cheating?
So that's on Tom Brady.
I'm just saying
happened?
the league likes to protect that motherfucker a lot. And this is me being a conspiracy.
Deep state?
Oh yeah,
With
there's
NFL?
been a lot of rigged
Deep
shit
state?
in NFL history.
Okay.
You can look that up too.
Okay.
Not just the Patriots.
Okay.
Lots
so
of rigged things.
you just basically shit on how many years has he been in the league?
17,
He's been in a lot.
18.
Tom Brady,
You
Too
just
many?
sit. You just sit on that entire.
Too many? This may be drastic, but
2
if
decades
he
worth of
went down
talent,
in a crash,
you just,
I wouldn't lose sleep.
That's fucked. He's got
That is
kids,
kinda fucked.
and he's a great human being. Like it's not.
No, he's not. Find a teammate that likes him.
Julian Edelman, Gronkowski went
Because
to the
he got
Buccaneers
him
out of
records.
retirement. Danny Amendola, Chris Hogan. You want me to keep going? I keep going.
Find all the videos of people not cheering
Because
him
they're
on or
not
high-fiving him.
Because they're not him. Because he gets all this hype, dude. Well, I don't
his own
understand.
teammates.
There are jealous. Yes, his teammates. Just because you're on the team with the guy doesn't mean you gotta fucking like him. You could wanna.
That's a problem.
You want to.
If you don't like the guy that's on
That's
your
the thing
team,
about the New England Patriots organization. They don't let that shit get in the way. They go out there and if they fucking win.
I'd rather have team chemistry than a motherfucker
They still
that can
do
sling
when they're
the
on
ball.
that fucking field. You don't win like that without the team chemistry. When they're on the field, they put that shit aside. That's how they are coached. 100%. That's how they're coached. They don't have to hang out
Here's
outside
my
the
thing.
field.
You're never going to change my mind about him.
Okay, then we're just arguing to argue at this
That's
point.
what I'm saying.
But I just don't comprehend
Marvin
where you're
Harrison
coming
is
from.
the greatest
There's-
receiver of all time stat-wise.
No, he's not. Here's I pulled this up for you. So here he has 1,100 receptions for 14,000 yards, right? Jerry Rice has 1,500 receptions for 22,000.
Consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
Marvin Harrison.
You just tried to find one category
Okay.
to say he was better at, so you
Don
go, yep,
Hudson,
see, there it was.
Better than Marvin Harrison. Randy
Who
Moss.
is this? What site are you looking
Randy
at?
Say
Moss
who
also
is
really got great because
Bleacher
of Tom
Report.
Brady.
You're gonna discredit Bleacher Report?
Who's Bleacher Report?
You've never
Heard of Bleacher Report?
No.
It's a pretty
It's one of the
recognizable
largest sports
internet organization.
Okay.
Listen, here's another thing I want to give y'all.
Go ahead.
How
Get
many
angry.
times did you watch Jerry Rice play in his prime? 0 and 0.
You're right.
You're right.
You're right.
How
but
many
I have
times?
watched Tom Brady in his prime.
You can't look
Absolutely
at stats.
obliterated.
And guess
we're
what?
looking at
On the
stats.
NFL's top
So you wanna go eye
quarterbacks of
test.
all time, guess who they put number 1?
So you want to go eye test?
Guess on the NFL organization's top quarterbacks of all time, who did they put?
Brett Favre.
Dan Marino.
Because he had a perfect season.
heated in here for a second.
Dan Marino.
Do we need to smoke another one? Calm down.
I'm
Yeah,
calm.
drink.
Let's look up.
No,
Guess what?
I enjoy.
And
the
I'm
go
probably
back and
biased
forth.
because I watched Marvin Harrison play from the time he was in the league till the time he left. And guess
Okay,
what?
So you can admit you got a little bit of a
Yes,
bias there too,
for sure.
because there's some sentimental value.
But
there,
here's
too.
something weird. I don't think LeBron's better than Michael Jordan
I'm
I
with you
do.
there.
by
I'm
any
with you
stretch.
there. I
But
agree.
Emerson
His
hates my
His
reason.
number shows it that he is though.
Emerson hates my
LeBron's.
reasoning though.
What's your reason?
I just hate LeBron.
And it's completely the opposite from why I
I
think.
just hate LeBron.
All right. I'll come
Hold
back
on.
to you.
Go
Here's
ahead.
Go
it's
ahead, give your
completely
reasoning.
opposite from the football, how it was like stats and consecutive blah blah blah. Think about what Michael Jordan turned basketball into.
Okay.
Nobody gave two flying fucks essentially
Still
about
don't.
basketball.
Still don't.
He brought
Really?
magic. He brought a fucking crowd to the game. This guy played with a goddamn flu, which actually came out that he was just hungover as fuck, not really the flu for that game.
Still don't care.
But
That shit's fucking crazy.
and he dropped 60 points. Like
60 points, Emerson.
he built the game up to the point where LeBron can be a popular player.
Built the game up.
He built the game up so
He built the
LeBron
game
can
up.
be a popular player.
Basketball would not be in
No.
the limelight that it is if Michael Jordan never comes
Look,
in the
go
league.
ahead.
disagree.
Before you go
What?
ahead, just hear mine. Because mine is so much more simple than that.
Okay.
He's a whiny little bitch.
Is he?
Fucking hate it. Come on. Come on. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that in the NBA game. I fucking hate it. It's why I don't watch basketball. That's just so stupid.
So, a point guard gets hit the same way someone hits LeBron. Instant foul, right? Why the fuck?
I don't know
because
I don't watch, but I can't
you don't
stand
watch
to
So
hear.
you're gonna try and argue LeBron?
I
isn't
don't
the best
watch
when you don't
because I
watch.
see LeBron act like a little bitch. Just go fucking play the game.
He does play the game. He plays it very well.
He does. He does. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that he doesn't play the game hard. I just don't like that he's a little bitch. That's why I don't like him. I don't like to see someone whining in the middle of a fucking game. Find a way to overcome it. It's called adversity, okay? That is why. That literally the only reason.
Do you know
it
what
has
he's
nothing to do with
exactly
about
saying?
his. Huh?
Do you know what he's saying?
Yes, it's the
During
same
the game?
argument with
For the
Cam
record,
Newton.
I like LeBron. I
No,
just
but
don't think
It's
he's
the
great.
same argument that
But
Cam
do you
Newton
know
brings
what he
out.
is saying in the game? You just see him talking. You see him a little obviously frustrated, which you would obviously get frustrated if the call wasn't going.
I'm
your
gonna
way
let
in
you
the game.
finish, but then I'm gonna come back with where I've personally seen
Okay.
some things.
So, do you actually hear what LeBron is saying to be a whiny little bitch? That's my question.
Like during the game
During
or
the game,
not?
correct.
No, because I don't watch it anymore. Because I've
when
seen
you watched
enough.
it. When you watched it.
No, because they don't have microphones on them
Exact-
unless they show
So
them
how can you
afterwards.
call him a whiny little bitch just based on gestures and how he's moving his
From
body?
what the call? Because if he's looking for a foul, it's pretty obvious when he's looking for a foul, or if there's a call that didn't go his way. Like the ones. This is where I'll just go ahead and get mine out of the way.
Okay.
There are some that you can. The commentators will even bring it up. It's a clean play, and he wants it to be called a foul because he may have looked like shit in the fucking play. And he doesn't like to look like shit because he is a fucking god NBA basketball player. I'm not trying to diminish that at all because I'll give you the same reason. I'm going to tangent a little bit. Just
Okay.
2 seconds. Bryce Harper, I feel the same way. Motherfucker plays the game hard, but he is a little bitch too. So that's literally, it's just the character of the person
Okay.
with that. It has nothing to do with who they are in that or the way they play that game. I just don't like the fact that he whines over every. It's every little thing. It's not just like a critical foul here or a critical foul there. A comparison of a foul to a point guard to when he got slapped like this. Like if there's a clean play and he wants it to go the other way, he's still gonna bitch. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. He bitches. How does that diminish him from any conversation of him being one of the greatest basketball players
That's
of all
not
time?
what I'm trying to diminish him. I'm just saying I don't like him.
Okay, you don't like him.
If you listen there, I agreed with you. I would pick Michael Jordan over LeBron because of my biased opinion that I've got towards him.
I personally
Stat
would
wise,
pick LeBron.
he is better than Michael Jordan.
Agreed.
That's why I was just saying that's the only reason I don't like him is just how he acts,
Okay.
and I think he's a little bitch with that. Now, if he was standing right there, I probably wouldn't say he's a little bitch to his face because he's a big motherfucker. Actually, I'd probably still say it to his face.
He's
but
also probably the most scrutinized athlete
at the same
of all
time, he'd be coming at me and be like, yo, chill. I'm just joking.
Him and Tom Brady are probably two of the most scrutinized athletes of all
I'd
time.
wrestle LeBron James.
But the same thing, like I'd wrestle him too. But I was just saying, like the argument with he has like the same attitude that Cam
LeBron,
Newton had
that's an
with
invite, by the way.
Carolina. Like it went from yes, there are big hits on Cam Newton to where you need to be like, dude, what the fuck? Protect me, please protect me. Not only his players, but like the referees and shit. Like protect me. But then it became every time he got hit. It seemed like every single time. And then you just hear all the arguments. Well, he's right because he's so much bigger. He's getting scrutinized because he's this much bigger and he's running. Shut up. That's why it's going to change when he goes to the Patriots.
Shut up there, though. But I don't think you say shut up.
Maybe I wasn't thinking the right way. I'm not saying shut up. I'm saying shut up because it seemed to me it became every play. And I was going to that. I think it's where it's going to change for him as a character standout. That's why I liked it when he's going to the Patriots because they're not going to allow that.
True.
They're not going to allow you to act like
Bill
that.
Belichick will not.
So that's why I think it's a great play. And if he stops bitching like that, I'll become a Cam Newton fan. But right now, I don't know. I still stand behind. Like, I don't like LeBron for that. I don't like Cam Newton. I don't like Bryce Harper for that. Bryce Harper, however, plays hard as fuck. He may not be the best stat-wise, but he is a very popular athlete because he's a freak of nature. He
He is
can
a freak of
crush
nature.
the fucking ball. And when he's going for
Him and
plays,
Mike
he
Trout.
doesn't. He doesn't. Mike Trout's far better. Far
agree.
better. But, like, say if he's going for a ball, he's not afraid to run into the fucking wall out there.
Right.
So I don't want to diminish him as a baseball player, just his fucking personality. There's a reason why people were throwing at him his rookie year, because they fucking hated his character. There's a reason why he had a little tantrum in the fucking dugout to the locker room area. I'm blanking on the word for it. But he tried to smash a bat up against the wall and smacked him in the face because he had a little fucking tantrum, and he busted his face wide open.
Tantrum, yeah.
Like so those things like that is why I don't like some of the athletes. It's nothing against how LeBron plays at all. It's just the times he bitches and the amount of times he bitches pisses me off.
Most hated athlete
I
of all
couldn't do
time,
what he would do.
but probably one of the greatest of all time, Terrell Owens.
That's another one that from what I said, I should hate him,
I
but I fucking
love
love
Terrell
him
Owens,
because
man.
I feel like in the role of a receiver, like you just have to be a diva like that.
But he wasn't
Diva
even a
shit-talker.
diva.
Right?
Pull up his stats.
I already know. I'm not gonna argue.
He's like third or second all time in everything.
T.O.
Who else does
Mooning the
that?
crowd, standing on the Dallas Cowboys thing, signing the goalpost.
I should hate him, but I fucking
T.O.?
love him.
As a receiver for your team, yes.
No.
Dude, I would take T.O. right now. Have you
I
seen
would
that
take.
motherfucker?
I would still take Marvin Harrison in
is.
his
T.O.'s
prime over T.O.
T.O. still
He
has
is
better
ripped.
stats than Marvin Harris.
Of course,
That's
but for your team,
for your team. To
how
put
many
more
teams?
stats.
How
What
many
are you
teams did
talking
he
about?
ruin?
How did he ruin,
Did he
the
ruin?
teams?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You guys are
Austin,
gonna
go
act
ahead.
like that
Go ahead.
he wasn't the biggest drama.
He
in
was,
the
100%.
Philadelphia
I'm with you
Eagles
there.
Super Bowl try against
But how
the
did
Patriots.
he ruin a team?
Dude, it's hard to be in. Dude,
One
if I
person out of how many
hated
people
one
on
of
a
you,
roster?
if I hated one of you, it would be extremely hard for me to do this podcast without being like, Baba. God damn it! I fucking hate you, bro. Oh,
Why are you looking at me?
just in
He's
general,
looking at me real quick, and he's like,
I'll
"Nah,
leave.
I'm gonna pick Sawyer."
or vice versa. If I was like,
he straight
so
stared me
Sawyer,
down.
like about the
it-
wrestling, and then I was like, you fucking think this? Like either way, I could not get through a day with realizing like I need you to do my job, but I can't fucking stand you. Because
I
Donovan,
can understand that.
every quarterback he's been the number one receiver. It's not like he's a slot guy or two or comes in off the bench. That's your number one guy.
Okay.
And if you can't stand his guts, that chemistry is like.
I do get that. If you can't
And he's made it that way for most of the quarterbacks he's been
I
with.
agree.
Other than maybe Tony Romo, but I don't really know what was happening there because he cried for that guy and stuff, and that was whole weird. But
that's someone who couldn't separate their ego from the game.
All right, let's
No,
talk about
you're
right.
let's talk about
Exactly.
So I
Randy
get what
Moss.
you're
do
talking
I?
about.
Randy Moss,
Why?
yes,
We're on
probably the
Terrell
most
Owens.
electric receiver of all time.
All right,
Thank
so
you, Tom
Randy
Brady,
Moss
is what
in
he says.
Less receptions than both Marvin Harrison and T.O. has more yards.
Pull up his stats.
He was also a more
From
downfield target.
when he went into the
Think about
Patriots
Randy
to when
Moss
he left.
wasn't a dink
compared
and
to
dunk
that
receiver.
time frame with Marvin Harris. So pick a. Like,
It's hard
when he
to
went
find
into-
that
wanna pick-
specific.
okay.
When he went, you can just go to the
No,
New
here you
England
go.
Patriots.
Here.
When he was with the New England Patriots till when he left, and then bring up the same stats of Marvin Harris during like a same.
Other
time
than Michael
span.
Thomas this year, Marvin Harrison had the record for most receptions in a single season in all time up until this season. Which, Michael Thomas, yes, had a crazy year,
Who are we
but
bringing
you
up,
look.
Marvin Harrison?
Marvin Harrison versus Randy Moss with but it's a year's comparison when he was with the Patriots versus the same
So
time of
Marvin
years.
was with the Colts his whole year, or his whole career.
Okay, so you just pick however long Randy Moss was there. Just pick 3 years in the same time.
They played
span.
at the same time, actually.
Look at that. Randy Moss never received for more yards than Marvin Harrison in a season. Go to Marvin Harrison's.
It's because
Go to
Because-
Marvin Harrison's.
Okay.
1,722.
if you have
Look at
one
the
good
closest.
I'm not saying this is the case, but if you have one good receiver, you're going to hit that one good receiver more times
He
than
had
anyone else
Reggie
there.
Wayne, Dallas Clark,
Okay.
and
Okay. I'm just saying, if he's still your number one guy, that's your first target you're going to get, and you're going to
Well,
target him more.
To go to that, Minnesota also had Chris Carter.
yeah, and
What? What do you mean? And that just debunked
Look.
your argument that they had Reggie Wayne and he was still leading. Like Minnesota
What do you mean?
had
Reggie
Chris
Wayne
Carter.
probably received for 1,000 yards that year too. Peyton Manning had 3 1,000-yard receivers multiple years. And Marvin Harrison still caught 140 plus yard or 130, 100 plus catches
What
per
years
season.
was Randy Moss on the Patriots?
Right here. 3 years.
So 3 years.
From 07 to 09.
Okay, 07 to 09 was Marvin Harrison playing then too?
He might have been
Oh,
just
07.
Okay, we'll just say 06 to
Okay,
08.
we'll pick the 07 08 years for both of them then.
Okay, we're not gonna compare these. 'cause
Oh,
that's at the end of his year.
Okay.
Let's just pick Marvin
touchdown.
Harrison.
Even
Okay,
in
no.
touchdowns, he's not bad.
So
Randy
here's
Moss definitely got
arguably-
more.
Here's
Let's do 3
arguably Marvin Harrison's best 3 years: 2000 to 2002.
Let's do 3 years. for Randy Moss then.
1999 to 2002. Because look, he got
Okay, so-
1,600 yards.
alright,
That was
we'll
the first time he broke 1,000.
We'll compare 4
Okay.
seasons. Well, he's only.
Do
he's only on the,
1999 to 2002. Look, Randy Moss has got the same thing.
New England Patriots, Randy Moss, other than the Minnesota year where he had 16,000,
We're- yeah, we're
1,600, were his best years, except for 2008. 2008, he was not as dominant.
He was on the
I
unfortunate-
would say in Minnesota he had more yards.
Yeah, look at the
consistently.
same
He was. It
years.
was his peak of his-
1999 to 2003 was his
was the
best
peak of
year.
But
his
he was
career.
more highlight reel.
That's what I'm
at
saying.
The Patriots too.
That's my point. That's why I said he was a much more electric receiver.
Okay.
Like anytime you saw Randy Moss, he was jumping over 4 or 5 motherfuckers. I'm
Yeah.
not saying he's not one of the greatest of all time, but in terms of somebody you want to count on in your game who's going to catch as many passes as you throw to him, Marvin fucking Harrison.
Okay. I don't think
That's
you can
my-
I
but
don't
this
think
is
you
my
can diminish
personal
Randy Moss
offense.
either, though.
But I
on
don't think that
'cause you
makes
would
him
still
the
want
GOAT.
Randy Moss too.
I don't think that
I
makes him the go. Just because, yeah, he's reliable.
How many 1,000-yard plus seasons did Marvin Harris have?
Marvin Harrison? How many?
Hold on.
1,000
Let's count Randy Moss's.
1,000-yard seasons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for his career. Let's check Marvin Harrison.
How often did Marvin Harrison get
1,
hurt?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 seasons.
8.
So Randy
8
Moss.
in a row, too. 8 1,000
Yeah,
yard
but see,
seasons
there's
in a row.
there's some with Randy Moss that I feel like he's hurt or he didn't finish out the season.
Well,
He's
let's
on
look
the
at games
Raiders.
played. I
Yeah.
mean,
He was on the Raiders, too.
this one he played 13 games. This one he played 13. So both seasons, if he played all 16 games, averaging, I don't know, what was his
42 yards per game.
Yards
that
per
year.
reception is 13.2.
So you add that 3 more times, he gets 600 and something yards that season.
In
He
3 games, you're only
maybe
saying
breaks he breaks 1,000 that season
Okay, he
if
still
he
breaks
plays
it.
all
He
30.
still breaks 1,000.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're tied,
But then you got 3 more years right
and then you
below.
have 3 more years later on. That's my point. I think, and
How many?
And-
that's
does
on
it
different
show,
teams too.
And
Does this show drop passes?
did he win a Super Bowl with New England?
I,
I
think it
believe
does.
so.
Does the show drop passes?
2008, right? They won the Super Bowl.
Yes, I believe so.
They won a lot
Drop
of them.
passes, shoot, receiving.
How many?
They have their catch percentage. I guess you can kind of figure that out.
There you go, catch percentage. I didn't even look at Marvin's.
That would be interesting too. Look at Marvin Harrison's. So his bet 64.
64% was his best. Catch
65 rounding up.
percentage. Right. Okay. Marvin Harrison. Okay, so he was a more consistent.
Consistently
He's
a better-
60% every time.
Yeah, definitely a more consistent catcher then.
That's kind of my, I guess, personal thing. I'd rather have a guy I can throw. If I throw it to him 10 times, he's catching it 6.
Look, I definitely.
Whereas with Randy Moss, it might be
I'm
half.
definitely with you on that because, like, in baseball, if you play
And
the
think
stats
about-
game, you want someone who's getting on base more, does not get a lot of
other
strikeouts
Right.
and stuff like that. 'Cause
Receivers
if-
that didn't get credit during that time. Reggie Wayne, I mean, he's probably going to go in the Hall of Fame eventually.
He's Hall of Fame.
Brandon Stokely. Does anybody
I
remember
do
Brandon
remember him.
Stokely?
I do
That
remember
man
him.
put up consistent 1,000-yard seasons while he was with the Colts, and then did it when Peyton went to the Broncos with him.
All right, let's look at Jerry Rice because personally, I think Jerry Rice is the GOAT.
You know Lynn Swan? This
I
is
do
way
know
before.
Lynn Swan.
I do wanna
He
see
never
Steelers.
had a 1,000-yard
right.
receiving season.
While you're pulling that up, I'm going to the bathroom.
Lynn Swan never had a
Never.
1,000-yard receiving season.
That's kind of crazy.
But he's got like the same thing. Like every time you see a Lynn Swan highlight, he's jumping over
he's
17,000
Some
people.
craziness to catch it. Yeah, he's a highlight reel.
I will say Jerry Rice was probably like
Holy shit, he was in the league a long
Like 20 years,
time.
19 years.
Oh my god. These stats are insane. Okay, you want to compare your 1,000 yards in a row. 1, 2, okay, he missed this one by 80 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 in a row, was injured, and then got back to it 12. And then he had 13, 14 total seasons, 11 in a row of over 1,000. Over 1,000 yards. Almost over 1,300 or 1,200. That's insane.
Damn.
And that was all
He
on
even had a catch percentage of 87.5%.
That's craziness. Okay.
Man, I still like Marvin Harrison, but Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
I told you, dude. You gotta look at
Jerry
this
Rice
thing.
had 87% catch percentage one year.
Yo, and he also had
So that's 9 out of 10 times you're throwing to him.
Yeah.
He's catching the ball.
That's
I was drinking the lemonade and vodka. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
Bring the
so
lemonade in here.
That's same thing. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't hate Jerry Rice for anything. I guess I'm biased because I never saw Jerry Rice play. I guess I was a time where I was watching him, but look, he
Barely.
wasn't.
We were
He
children.
wasn't. He was definitely like, who's Jerry Rice?
Well, he was at Oakland by then.
And Oakland is like the death of all.
And the death of careers.
Shout out to Derek Carr, who passed his brother on like all-time losingest quarterback in Carr family history.
Dude, your arm is in the camera. You're not being discreet with your.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having some alcoholic difficulties here. You didn't show the label.
I did that on purpose.
Surprised he's not upset that Funko Pops are showing everywhere as free advertisement.
That's okay. Funko is a great thing. If you want to collect something, start collecting Funkos. You'll get in over your head, spend too much money, and love every second of it.
I don't need a whole lot of ice. Actually, I don't need any.
Yeah, I think I used the last ice cube.
Gonna do a big transition here.
All right, Sawyer, he's doing a big transition for when you come in here.
Well,
no.
We could get
Well,
there.
maybe.
We can get there from this topic easily.
Okay, go ahead.
What superhero makes the best athlete?
What superhero makes the best?
I get context-wise, it might be...
I would not be Superman. It would not be. All right, we're gonna. You can't talk till you're in here.
You don't have the talking mic. Therefore, you have no words in this
We're
matter.
not going to argue with
I'm
Sawyer
going to go ahead and
until he
say
answers.
Spider-Man would be the best running back in the NFL of all time, just because of Spider Sense.
Yeah.
You can't tackle him.
He's also going to catch every ball you
He's
throw.
or
to him.
receiver.
Yeah.
He's catching. Okay, receiver. Change my mind. And his jumping.
Right.
He could jump essentially like 13 feet in the air, where a ball would be like incomplete and catch it. Or defense.
All right. Let's make an offense. Just
Let's
like
make an
offense
and a
skilled
defense.
positions, and then we'll move on to defense. All right.
Captain America is quarterback.
Yes. 100%. 100%.
Right?
If you disagree, like stop
Captain
watching,
America
like,
is the quarterback of the Marvel NFL team.
Like,
every fucking time.
is this Marvel only?
We can do Marvel.
Okay, we'll do Marvel. Or we'll do Marvel versus DC.
Oh man,
NFL.
It's bad,
Super
though.
Bowl.
It's gonna be bad.
Okay, well we'll get to it. We'll
Okay.
We'll start with Marvel. I'm gonna make a little document just so we remember what the hell we're writing down. Sawyer, this is a good topic. You're gonna want to get in on this. Just what you'll see. Well, I'll explain here in a second.
say he would be a good athlete.
That you missed half the conversation. We'll tell you here. In
Let
a
the
second.
record show I've known plenty of physical phenoms in my day who were terrible at sports.
That's true. That's very true.
I
This
knew a
is-
kid in high school who was like 6'5" and jacked as fuck. He had no hand-eye coordination. He could lift weights,
All
but
right.
he couldn't handle a ball. He looked like a giraffe with just born when he walked.
Sawyer, let me explain what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
All right.
All
So
right,
we're doing
specifically a football team. Let's make it
a
football.
Okay, so Marvel versus DC. We're gonna put together a offensive skill position team for Marvel, an offensive skill position team for DC, and then a defense for each.
Okay.
All right. So
Still
we
don't
started
understand
Marvel.
No Superman.
We haven't got the. We're on Marvel. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Marvel QB. We said
Captain
Cap.
America.
We said.
Yeah,
I mean,
Captain
even
America, for sure.
other or hold on, Hawkeye.
That would be a good one too.
He's very accurate.
I think the strategic
What else could
mindset.
he couldn't really be though?
Kicker.
Yeah.
Okay, Hawkeye's the
Hawker's the
kicker.
kicker.
Well, I'm just saying because I think Cap beats him as far as strategy and
he can still-
camaraderie
That's
and
what I'm
everything
saying.
like that.
I mean,
Okay.
He's the. All right. Running back.
Chris Evans, Captain America, right?
Yes.
Not
Running
another
back in
team movie,
Marvel
Chris
would
Evans.
probably have to
We're
be
going based-
Quicksilver.
Damn, y'all just missed my fucking joke.
What'd you say?
Not another team movie. Chris Evans, he was a quarterback in that
that's a
one
good
too.
one.
but he was fourth string quarterback.
We're not gonna talk about that. We're talking
Quicksilver, right?
about Quicksilver. He had one chance to
For
shine.
running back.
If we're
and
picking just the movies, then okay. But in comics, like he is like the fastest.
He's the Flash in
the
Marvel.
Marvel, but slower than the Flash by
Yes.
like a lot.
Wouldn't you
Yes.
want him as a receiver then? He's gonna outrun everybody.
No,
We need two
I would
receivers.
put the Hulk
Spider-Man
as a
is-
fucking running back because he's gonna mow over everybody
No,
up the
okay.
middle of the
Not
field.
fullback.
fullback is the Hulk.
Then
the
you're just
Blob.
gonna have a fullback rather
Hold
than your
on.
running back, and
Are
you're
we
not gonna give
picking
your running back
offensive
the
line or
fucking
just
ball.
skill positions?
Just skill. Just skill.
Okay, I was gonna say the Blob is our offensive line. Just
the
him.
whole line.
Just him.
Wow, I like it.
Oh shit. Wide receiver, Nightcrawler,
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. You just throw
or
the
running
ball.
back. I mean, you hand it to him.
He knows where he's going. Right.
Oh, that's a good one too.
I'm gonna put him at running back.
Would you rather it be running
No,
back
wide receiver.
or wide
'cause
receiver
if
because
he
you just
does
throw
get
the ball,
tackled,
he can just disappear too. But I mean, it's the same with a running back. But I'm saying, like, if you have Cap, just throw the ball anywhere.
As far as
he can just
He's
fucking
gonna go get it.
disappear and catch it in the middle of
I'm-
the air
I'm
where they can't
stupid.
get intercepted.
running back / fullback juggernaut.
Ooh, that is a good one too.
He's
I think-
unstoppable
so-
once he gets his momentum.
So
you just
Hulk,
give him the ball.
Hulk and Juggernaut running back fullback combo.
That is insane. That is. That
Dude,
is
I don't know how
insane.
DC compares
I don't know how
to
DC's gonna
that.
put a defense up against this. I don't know. Those two could change positions too, and it'd be
Where would
insane.
where would Iron Man
How
be
many
in all
wide
this?
receivers? 3?
Iron Man's the coach. What are you talking about?
Okay, I could get behind that.
Yeah.
I could get
He's
behind
like,
that.
I don't want to get my my
Yeah.
armor dirty. You
Coach
guys,
Iron
I can't
Man.
afford to get grass stain on this gold.
Okay.
Thor.
Okay. Thor.
He's got to be like a.
Thor
he's
is
gotta be
like-
a.
Thor's on defense.
Thor's
tight
middle
end.
linebacker. Are you
Thor's-
fucking kidding
He's either
me?
middle linebacker or strong safety.
So who's gonna be tight end then?
tight end?
I was putting him at tight end position.
How many receivers? Just
Too
2 or
much
3?
talent to be put at tight end.
2 or 3 receivers. Sam.
True. I could. Okay.
We'll go 2
Two.
receivers and a tight end to finish it up.
Oh, Spider-Man at receiver.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's catching everything.
He's catching and a spider sense, so even
Right.
after he catches the ball, you
so
can't
tight
tackle
end
him.
then. So we need to fill a tight end. Is that
We
what
need a tight end. We need a tight end for a Marvel offense here.
Colossus? Big,
Maybe.
solid fucking titanium metal guy. He can block, but he can also wreck some shit.
See, I really want to put like Deadpool on something. He's got to be on. He's got to be on defense.
He would be on defense.
He
He's
would
gonna
be a
safety.
cornerback.
He's gonna be a corner. All right. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's fill this tight end.
What do you want the tight end to do? Do you want him to block for those guys? Be a blocking tight end?
Think about
or-
Gronk, George Little, some of the best tight ends.
That's why I was saying Thor is because that would represent a
You're-
fucking Gronk.
But then we got all our guys on offense.
I
Not
know.
that they couldn't play 2 ways, but
Nah, they can only play one position.
Well, shit.
Black Panther? No,
You-
he's gonna
well,
be
no,
he's
he's
gonna be a
just-
linebacker.
Yeah.
Drax?
Drax.
Drax.
Yes, that could be a.
No,
No,
yeah,
no,
that's-
no, 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 no. Groot.
Yes.
No, sorry. Groot should play strong safety and Rocket a corner.
Okay. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We need a
Sorry.
fucking tight end.
I know, but
I
keep-
like
Drax?
Drax for
I
the
like
tight end
Drax.
spot.
He's a little crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right.
You go block this motherfucker. Don't let him
Deadpool's
get
a
near me, and he's
cornerback
doing
on
it.
defense,
Corner?
for sure.
Corners are gonna be Deadpool.
Not Rocket.
Rocket or
If they were together, they can be strong safety. Like Rocket and Rocket and Groot, on top of each other is strong safety, because Groot can like stretch as far as he needs to. Are we doing
Hawkeye
defensive tackles?
Could be a cornerback.
Hawkeye's our kicker.
You didn't even put a kicker down there.
Okay.
We're not there
Does
yet.
that even fucking
He's
matter
kicker
in
and
this?
punter.
Kicker and he's not gonna. He's never gonna miss a field goal. All right.
And with his athletic build and shield training, he can probably kick a 75-yard field goal.
He's not missing.
Oh, wait. Oh, my God. We're missing, like, so many people. Like Wolverine.
Wolverine is a
middle
linebacker.
He's a linebacker.
Wolverine is a linebacker.
We're going to fill the LBs right now.
Thor is a middle linebacker.
Thor is middle linebacker.
Wolverine's one.
Hold on. Who did I just have? Mr. Fantastic is strong or free safety?
Black Panther was a linebacker, too.
Ooh, we got a 3 linebacker set. Okay.
Yeah.
Or do we got a 4? Do we get 2 middle, 2 outside? 3 defensive tackles.
We're filling a full offense?
Or
a full defense?
Are we just doing skill
Let's
and
just
defense?
do skill.
Do it in comparison to
Beast? Beast should be the captain of the defense, honestly, in terms of smarts and everything.
Dude,
middle
you
linebacker.
say Beast,
Thor?
and I think Thor is getting replaced with Beast on that one.
Really?
You're right.
Yes.
Beast
Yeah.
is the new middle
He
linebacker.
is a fucking
I still think
smart.
Oh, yeah, no, I
he's
agree.
One of the smartest
He's
people.
probably the 2nd or 3rd smartest in all Marvel
He
comics.
needs to run that defense.
Yeah, he's outside. He's like, come hither.
Absolutely. Can you sneak Loki in there anywhere? Because he is
As a
fucking
corner?
Yeah.
Loki as a corner?
He just
Can we get behind that?
He just phases into you as receiver, so the quarterback just goes.
Well, think about bringing in your corner for like a blitz fake, and he's sending his like shadow clone up there as blitzing, and then rushes the line, and then goes back and intercepts the
I
football.
love how we have the 2 most unstable Marvel characters as our cornerbacks.
Deadpool and Loki.
The 2 most likely to dip out on the football game and just say,
Yeah.
why are we playing for them? And Deadpool's like, I want chimichangas, and goes up to the concession, and we get a touchdown scored on us.
That's okay.
But see,
We're gonna take the risk.
Deadpool would be in there because Spider-Man's on the other side, and he's got to show up Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
you got Deadpool.
Well,
locked in there.
Deadpool in the comics is like has a secret kind of love for Spider-Man, where
Yeah.
he like wants him to be his best friend more than anything, and Spider-Man's like, leave me alone. And he's like, you know, you copied your outfit from me, right? And he's like, I was invented before you.
So what do we got to cover else on defense? Then?
We need
safety?
2 safeties.
Free safety.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
You want Black Panther as a free safety?
I could see him more as a
Dude,
free
he
safety
could be
than
he
than
could
a
come up
linebacker.
and be linebacker or corner too.
Then we got to.
He's like the John Lynch of the Marvel universe.
You're right. We need a linebacker though.
Excuse me, he's the Ed Reed of the Marvel universe.
Yes, because he's athletic as hell
And
too.
black.
Yes.
I'm blanking on the metal guy in Deadpool. Fucking
Colossal.
Colossus is a linebacker?
Colossus is a
He's too
linebacker.
slow. He's too
You
slow.
think he's too
He's not slow though.
In comparison.
Okay.
Ant-Man?
Oh my God, bro.
Ant-Man would be just hilarious because you wouldn't see him, and then he just appears in the gap in front of the running back
I
as
low-key
Giant Man.
really fucking like that.
I kind of want him as like a defensive tackle. though.
Wait.
I think we need to fill some D tackles.
Yeah, you could put Ant-Man as D tackle as a like joke
just, like,
because they're like
hanging out.
Ant-Man, and then he's like,
Okay.
He doesn't even have to get big. He can stay small and still be that fucking strong. Is the thing.
Oh my God, as a D
And
tackle, he
sneak
just goes
around.
under the
Yeah.
sacks every
You can't
time.
block him. You can't block him.
So the DC would have to put the Atom on the other side specifically to block Ant-Man.
Yo, I don't see how DC wins this. I'm not even gonna lie.
Well, let's get there. In a
All right,
minute.
we'll get there.
How many D tackles? Just
2.
one?
We need
two?
No, 1 D
Okay,
tackle and
let's-
2
let's-
DN.
Oh, defensive
All right,
ends.
I'm
I
gonna throw
forgot
this-
about defensive
I'm gonna throw
ends.
this linebacker spot out here because I'm a little biased.
Okay.
Nebula for the other linebacker spot.
Nebula.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little wild.
Mm-hmm. She's fast.
Hold on,
she's
Captain
strong.
Marvel.
No.
We're not putting Superman.
we've
We're not
only-
putting
we've only
Superman
put
in the
men.
DC
We're
side,
kind
so
of
we're not doing Captain Marvel.
Superman will be in.
Okay. Well, then we can put Captain Marvel in there. But I said we put her somewhere.
I feel like she should be a safety.
Move Ant-Man to linebacker. Or no, excuse
So we
me.
need 2 safeties. So we need to add
Yeah,
another
we still
safety
need a
in there.
strong safety.
So put Captain Marvel there.
Yeah.
I still want Nebula at linebacker. I think she would fuck some
Black
people up.
Widow could be in there. She's basically human, though.
She's human. With
Nebula is part android.
Black
and
Widow's like offensive coordinator.
right. Truthfully, that's the deadliest offensive coordinator. Of all
She's gonna
time.
make you throw the ball so it kills the defense instead
Right.
of scoring a touchdown. It's 4th and 10. They're like, look at the field. They have 2 players left. She's like,
Yeah.
run any play.
I had a whole encyclopedia that I was going through at one point.
I have
I'm
a
trying to
Marvel
remember everybody, and I'm
encyclopedia
blanking on
in
it.
my
We
bedroom.
don't need that. We know this,
Bro, there's so. I mean, we could get into Sentry, who's like Marvel's Superman, who has the Adam Warlock. We could put
Wait a minute,
Thanos.
wait a
as
minute, I was about to say
Thanos.
Thanos.
Defensive end.
Yeah, why are we thinking-
considering?
He doesn't have to have the Infinity Gauntlet to still be defensive end,
All right.
He was stronger than the Hulk. Well, he had the Power Stone.
but he didn't
He
use
didn't
it.
use it.
He didn't
just
use
It
went-
didn't light
He
up
didn't.
when he
You're
used it.
right. So he's
Whooped his
yeah.
little ass.
Yeah.
I say little to the Hulk.
He was bigger than Thanos, honestly. Like, if you probably weight for weight,
Yeah.
he was probably
Muscle.
We
bigger.
are forgetting somebody that could go in that linebacker spot.
Wolverine.
Ghost Rider. Fucking
Ghost
love
Rider.
Ghost Rider, dude.
Ghost Rider's
Just
nasty.
little-
I don't know. Ghost Rider's like the guy you pay off
Doctor Strange.
to, like,
Doctor Strange. No, he's our defensive coordinator.
you can just tell the future and be like, this is what they're going to run.
Tell me that's not the
He
best
has a
defensive
seizure
coordinator.
halfway through the game because he's like,
I saw every possible outcome of this game. We are not gonna lose.
Apocalypse. Basically the bane of the Marvel universe.
Bane.
He's basically the bane.
He's
Apocalypse
everything
is.
of Marvel. He has every mutant power.
Mm-hmm.
That's too, okay. That's too godlike. That's too
You
godlike.
can't put Darkseid on the
We can't get that crazy here
But
because
then
then
is
it's
Thanos
just
too strong?
Magneto.
no Thanos without. Ooh, I like Magneto.
And he what? Crunches their face.
No,
I think
okay.
Wolverine is
I'm gonna say
linebacker.
Wolverine. I
No,
was,
you have to have Nick Fury as some kind of coach.
he's the manager.
Manager?
He's the GM.
He's the
Okay.
owner.
Yeah, he's the owner of the team. Well, yeah.
This is Shield's
The
football
Thing. We're
team.
missing the Thing. Could be a defensive.
And
He's gonna be DM.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. I like it. So to recap,
all guys kicker.
I got him on the offense. So Marvel's offense and defense. So the coach for Marvel is gonna be Iron Man. He
Oh,
should
we
be
forgot
the
about
owner.
Ronan too.
He's the owner. Nick Fury is the manager. Okay. The coach, Iron Man. I mean,
We could have had Sabretooth
he's
in there
a
too.
genius, playboy, philanthropist. Tell me I'm wrong.
I like how he kept it mostly heroes though.
Yes.
Other than Thanos and Loki and Juggernaut.
So quarterback, Captain America, the greatest motivator of all time. He's gonna
strategist
Yes.
in all Marvel comics.
he's
As
going
well
to
as-
get his team.
And
very
he can
athletic.
Whip that
Yes.
shield to make it bounce back to him any direction. So if it was an incomplete pass, he could catch the
He's
ball
like,
and
"I'm
just
getting
keep
it."
running with it.
He's like, I'm gonna throw it to myself here. Running
Did you
or
know? Fun fact: Brett Favre's first ever completed pass in the NFL was to himself.
that's amazing, actually.
He was rolling out. He got drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. Another fun fact.
I did know that.
Trying to throw a screen pass, it got tipped up. He ran past the D lineman, caught it, and got like a 5-yard gain. So
That's-
Brett Favre is like the only quarterback in NFL history to complete his first pass to himself.
That's fantastic.
Only Brett Favre would do that shit.
I
Look
think
at
I'm
this
gonna- okay,
squad,
I'm
dude.
gonna make a switch here. I'm gonna put Hulk as our tailback and Juggernaut as our fullback.
Okay.
I think they can go hand in hand.
True,
I'm
because
just-
then Juggernaut just clears the lane.
I
and
feel
Well,
like
I
Hulk's a
think
little faster.
Hulk can cut corners. I feel like
Can we
Juggernaut
also-
is a straight
He's
Can
tuck
we
your head
also
and
not
run.
forget that Hulk can leap like over a skyscraper?
Well,
goal
I-
line leap.
How long is a Marvel NFL football field? Like 5 miles?
Yes.
Is a first down like a mile?
Yes.
I
Like,
don't know because I feel like you got some people who could counter that. Like if you're doing a
well, we gotta
scrimmage
make our
against yourself
DC
right
one.
now.
We gotta
Alright.
make a DC.
Let me recap and then we'll move on to DC. So we got our coach Iron Man, QB Captain America, running back, fullback is gonna be either Juggernaut or Hulk. You can pick.
Switch them out.
Wide receiver Nightcrawler, he's gonna teleport, catch that ball. Spider-Man never dropping the ball. Tight end Drax, he's a crazy dude. He literally reminds me of like George Kittle in the NFL right now. Kicker Hawkeye, never miss him. Defense, our 2 corners, we got Deadpool and Loki, 2 of the most unstable, but I love it. Middle linebacker Beast, genius, monster, incredible, perfect to lead that defense. Eloquent, yes. The other two linebackers, Wolverine and Thor. Just sheer brute
power alone.
force.
Wolverine will end up tackling on the play after the play is over.
Just some nastiness. We got our two safeties. I think I'm gonna put Black Panther at strong safety though, and Captain Marvel at free safety.
Okay.
We'll switch
It's a bold
those.
move, Cotton. Let's see if it works for us.
I think it'll work. I think it doesn't matter, to be totally honest. Our defensive tackle is Ant-Man. Try and counter that.
Also, I have to say, DC does have a little bit, like they do have a lot of human superheroes, but they also have a lot of people who are similar to Superman.
Yeah.
Because you have Superman, Supergirl, Shazam. You have
Martian Manhunter.
What's his name? That's
well, we'll get there.
blanking on it.
Did we recap? Let's go ahead and make our DC team.
You got dude.
Sorry.
Did we recap?
All right, so we have the other two positions: defensive end Thanos, defensive end The Thing. Our defensive coordinator is Doctor Strange. Offensive coordinator is Black Widow, and our GM is Nick Fury, and the owner of the squad is Stan Lee. If you disagree, get off this podcast right now. He is the owner. All right, let's move on to DC.
Okay, Batman has to be the coach.
Coach
Sorry.
or quarterback?
No,
You can't put him. He's human. You can't go human in that position. I feel
You're
like.
right. You're right. Because he's essentially
right.
Iron Man with his tools.
Batman already
and
knows
his,
the outcome of
Yes.
the game, essentially.
Right.
Yes. He's the strategist that's going to go against Iron Man.
And
right?
Iron Man thinks he knows the outcome of the game.
Yes.
Because
for quarterback,
Friday told him so. Or Jarvis.
this is where it gets
Friday.
difficult.
Jarvis is really coaching the team.
I would vote Cyborg
As quarterback?
for quarterback.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Who else
He's
you gonna
got the
put?
power to get the ball down the field. He's
He can
he's
calculate.
probably the smartest.
He's
if not,
he's a cyborg. Like, I mean,
All right.
he has the superhuman strength.
I'll
He
give
has
and
the speed.
He was a
He
football
has a
player in the
fucking
DC
cannon
universe
for arm,
as
literally.
a running back, so he understands the sport.
Then why
Yes.
wouldn't he be running back?
Because
Because
think
you
of
have the
DC.
Flash, you have Wally West, you
Flash.
The
have
Flash. All right.
He's
I'm
running
not
back.
even gonna. Yeah, I'm
no,
not even
the
gonna.
Flash is your running back 1,000 times.
But see, you have like people
Who's your
like
receivers,
Wally West is going to be a receiver. He's another Flash.
Can we should keep it to one Flash.
Yeah, let's keep one Flash. We didn't put Quicksilver.
Marvel
Dude.
doesn't have.
Why
that
didn't you
many
put-
Think about how many
Look,
DCs.
okay.
There's
Then
Savitar,
you have-
Godspeed.
Then
Well,
you-
we could make the whole offense speedsters.
You could. That's what I'm saying. You don't have that in Marvel, really.
Okay.
You don't have speed.
Superman?
Like you do in DC.
Why? No, Superman should be like middle linebacker.
Yeah, Superman's got to lead your defense. I feel like
I agree.
you could have. So I would say for a running back, maybe Supergirl.
No, Flash has got to be
Flash.
running back because
Flash
he's
is running
he's almost
Okay.
too fast for
Then-
Cyborg to throw to.
Then
True. That's totally.
because you have
Nightcrawler
Shazam too.
in
So you have
comparison.
Shazam, which is essentially Superman.
But he's a little
It's a
boy
little
most of
kid
the
who
time.
turns into a man. So I would put him possibly like fullback just to go, little kid, run that shit as hard as you can up the fucking middle.
He'd
like
be like the
Forrest
Mike
Gump.
Allstott of DC.
All right.
Ooh, okay, all right. If you don't want Cyborg to be the quarterback,
I'm okay with
Deathstroke could be
no,
the quarterback.
free safety on defense.
I'm fine with Cyborg.
Okay.
He's got that arm power and the calculation.
DC's defense is going to be
I'm
stacked.
cheating a
Just
little bit
wait
because
a
I gotta get
minute.
a refresher.
Just wait till I start
This is
listing
gonna be
what's going to be
tough.
on defense. Wide receiver, Hawkman.
So
You could fly
are
just
you putting
about,
Shazam
honestly.
as fullback?
Yeah,
I
we
think
can-
you have to because I think you just tell this kid to go run as hard as you can up the middle.
I do like Hawkman.
On the
as a
flip
receiver.
side is Hawkwoman, Hawkgirl.
That's a deadly wide receiving core.
So are we limited? Okay.
What about the Green Lantern?
Shit. Then there's
He's
like
gonna have
Captain.
to be on.
There's
I feel
like
he's
Captain
gotta be
Atom,
defense. I feel like he's a defensive player.
Yeah.
Green Lantern. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's defense.
I think he's a defensive.
That's
player.
defensive tackle.
I want to get some of
Kong,
these
big
human
iron wall.
I thought we
characters in
had
there, though.
the
Aquaman needs to be a defensive player too.
He's a
Dude,
water boy.
DC is like all defense.
Aquaman's a
So-
water boy.
We need a tight end. I know who I want to be
We need a tight end.
middle
and a kicker.
linebacker. Middle linebacker is going to be Bane. I'm just going to put that out there.
Okay, we need a tight end and a kicker.
Tight end and kicker. All right, kicker is going to be. See, that's where you get into the fucking Deadshot could be the kicker and punter. He's never going to miss, just like Hawkeye.
That's true.
You could do Deadshot.
Or Era. I'm gonna go
Deadshot or Arrow?
I'm gonna
Wait,
go
as
Deadshot.
tight end? No,
It's
tight end,
kicker,
yeah,
kicker,
yeah,
punter.
yeah.
Deadshot over or Arrow over Deadshot. Deadshot never misses.
Neither does Arrow.
He does miss.
Okay, you're right.
He's not as accurate as Deadshot. Literally, Deadshot does not
But we
miss a
kind of
shot.
kept the other one mostly human or hero based.
You got Loki in there.
We
And
have
Deadpool.
three.
You got
villains.
Thanos in there.
We have Juggernaut, Thanos, and Loki as our villains. So 3 villains for Marvel.
Okay, I want to change coach actually.
Okay.
Lex Luthor.
Oh, absolutely.
Owner. No. He's the owner.
But we don't have an owner for Marvel. We were
Yeah,
Yeah,
just-
we
do.
do, Stan Lee.
Stan Lee.
Lex Luthor wouldn't coach a team. He'd own that motherfucker.
Okay, I agree.
He
with
would
you
probably
there.
buy the
Okay.
NFL, honestly, and then own every team. Could you imagine if there was someone that rich that could buy every team in the NFL and have it as one
Just-
privately owned organization?
That's insane.
Sorry, I went on a whole other tangent.
Dr. Fate is tight end. Dr. Fate. You can use him defensively and offensively, and he's gonna fucking shove it up your ass like a Gronkowski.
Dude, Dr. Fate is low key one of my most favorite like DC characters.
Where else would you put him though?
All right, we got it.
Unless you put him on defense.
he's on tight
I would
end.
put tight end.
Dude, I'm telling you,
'Cause-
DC is gonna have a stacked defense when we start listing these.
Because
off.
what I'm saying is, like, if you don't have Hawkman or Hawkgirl open and receiver, you go to Dr. Fate as your backup, as you're across the middle. Yeah, like, come
Cast
on,
the
dude.
fucking onk that
Kicker.
catches the ball.
Okay, Deadshot or Arrow? Kicker. I vote Deadshot.
I vote Arrow.
If it's Arrow, I'm not gonna be upset. It's
Only if it's Deadshot on that every field goal he makes, he gets like that many years off his parole.
I'm good with whatever.
Deadshot. I gotta
It's
go
one of
with-
those
if
two.
we're
We'll go
going off
Deadshot.
most guaranteed pinpoint
It's
accuracy,
Deadshot.
it's gotta be
You're
Deadshot.
not wrong. I'm just biased.
Corner.
Corner. All right, we're on to defense here.
You want to talk about someone in the
Martian
backfield?
Manhunter.
Starfire.
Oh,
Raven.
No. Oh, no. we didn't
Starfire
even
Raven
think of
combo
Floyd.
in the back. Ooh,
See, I was
I
gonna
would put
say-
him in like
As a
defensive
Green
end
Lantern,
or something.
Green Lantern strong safety.
All right.
Starfire and Raven have to be in the backfield,
In the corners?
in the corners.
Azorath Metrionzintos!
I think those are good combos.
If you can hear
Everyone
the dogs,
excuse
ignore
my...
that.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse my dogs. They are barking at
Bane. Did we
probably
put Bane
my
in there yet?
fucking weird
Bane
ass
needs to be
neighbor
middle
who does
linebacker.
weird shit.
Bane
Like
needs to go in
screams for
middle
his cat
linebacker.
at 2 in the morning because he lets it out.
What? Why
This
would
is all I
No,
hear
no.
that makes my dogs bark.
Brainiac. Where would Brainiac be? No. See, this
Say
is where I go
Noodle?
into
Yeah,
it too.
that's
We could
the
also
cat's name.
we could also have Brainiac be the coach.
Where's Batman gonna go?
Quarterback.
Batman's one
Then
of the
you
most
move
prominent.
you move quarterback to Batman to quarterback, Cyborg to tight end, Dr. Fate the strong safety, Green Lantern free safety, Starfire and Raven at both the corners.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Because if you've got Brainiac being your
Brainiac
coach,
is the coach.
then Batman as your on-field strategist in the moment.
Yeah.
Who's better in the moment than Batman?
I agree.
In
Yep,
DC.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I don't know. I don't like putting Batman in
Can't
the
put
actual-
Batman at tight end.
I don't like putting him in the game.
I do. I do as far as the like what he's saying. As far as your strategist in
This
the
is,
moment.
if anything
Why
goes
wouldn't
in
he
this
be your
football-
offensive coordinator then?
Because we don't have an offensive coordinator. But
Yeah, we do Black Widow.
Brainiac literally goes through every single scenario of every single possible moment in the foreseeable universes. Not just one universe, and all of the universes.
So he's like
he
Doctor
can see.
Strange. He should be defensive coordinator.
No, Doctor Strange can't mentally predict everything.
Okay.
Like he
and
breaks
Doctor
down every
Strange
scenario.
hasn't actually collected like thousands of planets
Yes.
and downloaded all of their knowledge into his. Like
So-
Brainiac knows everything about a planet that has ever existed because he downloads all the knowledge.
I like
from every
exactly who you put in the places you had. You had Batman for QB. Cyborg was
tight end.
tight end. That's right.
Because he's
Dr.
got like
Fate was-
Sonic Boom or Extendo Hand or Extendo Foot. Remember Rocket Foot from Teen Titans?
Yeah.
That could catch
Where was
the ball.
Dr.
He-
Fate?
Dr. Fate was strong safety, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then
Green
you
Lantern
had-
free safety. You're not getting past that shit. Jesus, Marvel.
So coach put Brainiac for the coach.
We need a middle linebacker. You said
That Bane, yes.
Yeah.
Bro, I want to put the Joker somewhere on this
Dude,
defense.
I was thinking about that too, and I want him somewhere where he's going to be unpredictable. Because that's what you have to have
Okay,
a Joker
then
as.
move Green Lantern to linebacker and Joker at free safety.
Because he has to be unpredictable. You can't.
Like you have
Free
to,
safety could come up and blitz. It could drop back and get an interception. He could run up and stop. He probably puts out some Joker gas and makes the Hulk go. Fucking
Yo,
knocks him out.
I
Where
love
did we put
the
Martian
Joker.
Manhunter anywhere yet?
Martian Manhunter is not in the game.
He needs
yet.
to go into a
He needs to be some-
linebacker spot.
Linebacker.
Where the fuck
Or
is
DM.
Superman going?
Superman's
Def-
got to be middle linebacker.
Okay,
Bane
then-
is one of the other linebackers.
Okay, take Green Lantern out of there.
Green Lantern.
Dude, this
I
is
think
actually
Green
a pretty
Lantern needs to be
fucking
like a
stacked
defensive
team,
end.
too.
He's got every tool.
Yeah, that's true.
He needs to
oh,
be what?
Train and cut through the line.
Yeah, Green Lantern is a defensive end.
Okay, okay.
We need a linebacker. Who do we just say? We got Bane and Superman.
Who else? I thought we had another one there. Oh, that was Green Lantern.
I just said Green Lantern.
Who did we say? Martian Maniac.
Martian Manhunter.
Manhunter. Yeah. What did I say? Maniac?
Better hope there's not a fire.
You could have Swamp Thing in one, either the defensive tackle or defensive
Oh,
end.
fuck yeah.
Um,
Ant-Man can try and get through.
But he's just gonna be like.
Black Adam. Black Adam needs to be in there too.
Black Adam is a defensive end.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rock
That's
was
essen-
defensive end in
That's
college.
but
I
that's
mean-
essentially
Black Adam.
see that's the crazy thing about DC is we basically have three
It's
Supermans
actually
in there.
Adam, like 80 AM.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, 80 AM. But we literally have
pretty
three
racially charged name
Supermans
when you
on
read it
this
that
team
way.
right now, and we didn't even include Supergirl or all the super villains,
Superboy?
all the super villains, the people from Kryptonite. We didn't even include those. So we went Shazam is another Superman, Superman himself, and Black Adam. Are
You don't
all
think
three
Iron Man's
Supermans.
gonna equip his team with some kryptonite?
He could, but that only affects Superman. That doesn't affect Black
Well, that's
Adam
what
or
I'm saying,
Shazam.
If you had your whole freaking.
That's why
defense
Superman
made up.
is in the middle linebacker position and not like quarterback or something else. That could definitely depict how the
Yeah.
game
The
goes.
only thing that affects Shazam is if you get him to say Shazam again.
Mm-hmm. But then
Everyone else
then
is
he's just gotta say Shazam again. Like it's like
The
you
only
can
other
cut it on
person
and
I
off
could
like
see
that.
being owner or coach would be Vandal Savage, who's been alive for like
Lex Luthor, bro.
50,000
Lex.
years.
I'm still taking Lex Luthor,
I'm
bro.
gonna be
Yeah, Vandal
agree.
Savage wouldn't be interested in sports.
So
No.
who do we have as we
It's
have
all cool?
Stan Lee as the
I was just
owner.
thinking of that.
We have Stan Lee as the owner of Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna recap both teams
Wow.
here. Let me do this uninterrupted, guys. Okay.
Okay, we'll try.
All right, we'll try.
I'll sit back.
So for Marvel, we have the owner Stan Lee. Moving on to our coach Iron Man, quarterback Captain America, running back Juggernaut, fullback is the Hulk. You can swap those two how you please. The two wide receivers we got Nightcrawler and Spider-Man. Our tight end is Drax. The kicker Hawkeye. He's never gonna miss. Corners we got Loki and Deadpool. Two crazy, unpredictable, unstable people, but I love it. Middle linebacker Beast. The other two linebackers we got Wolverine and Thor. Free safety Black Panther, strong safety Captain Marvel. You can interchange either of those. Personally, defensive tackle Ant-Man. I mean, he's got his same strength level as a tiny little thing, or if he wants to get huge, he can. Whatever he wants to do. The two defensive ends we got Thanos and the Thing. I mean, that's disgusting. I think the defenses are more disgusting than the offenses.
Which is crazy.
That
to
is crazy.
say.
That is
Holy
crazy.
shit.
All right, we're
Well,
moving to
like,
Get
DC.
excited.
Well, like all superheroes are mostly defending the Earth.
Yeah.
Like they're never like
Yeah.
going out and invading. They're like, all right, something came here, let's fucking defend.
All right, DC.
All right,
Go for it.
DC. The owner, Lex Luthor, absolutely. Coach, Brainiac. Quarterback, Batman. Running back, Flash. Who's gonna catch him? Nobody.
Honestly,
Nightcrawler, maybe.
honestly, that might be the most cheap person on both teams. Because
Flash,
if you hand
good.
him the ball, there's literally no one on even maybe Deadpool or Loki could keep track. Maybe Thanos, if he has the Infinity Gauntlet, could keep track of Flash in the Speed Force.
How fast can Captain Marvel move?
I mean, she's probably equivalent to Superman.
But Superman wasn't as fast.
So
as
she
the
could
Flash.
ankle
Close
tackle.
enough.
Very, very, very close was
She
the
could ankle tackle
Flash
Flash,
Superman race.
honestly.
Bro, this field is going to be the longest
Anyway,
field.
continue. Fullback is Shazam.
Fullback is Shazam. 2 wide receivers. We got Hawkman and Hawkgirl. The
Which they
duo.
both fly.
They both fly. I mean, shit. Tight end, Cyborg. Kicker, Deadshot. Moving on to defense. Our 2 corners, we got Starfire and Raven. Love those picks there. Middle linebacker, we got Superman, the leader of the defense. The other 2 linebackers, Bane and Martian Manhunter. At free safety, we got the Joker. That's probably my favorite pick, to be
Just
totally
because
honest.
we honestly don't know what he's going to do.
You,
at any
you have
given
no
moment.
clue.
He's, yeah.
He might
no
have
clue.
the whole stadium rigged to blow during that game,
Right.
and he just says, "If you don't fall down right now before this first down, I'll blow up the stadium."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Okay."
Okay, fine. Strong safety, Dr. Fate. Our defensive tackle, Swamp Thing. I love that as a defensive tackle, personally. And our 2 defensive ends, we got Green Lantern, who has all the tools in his tool shed with that ring on.
To honestly play any position,
Truthfully. But at
I
defensive
think
end,
that fits him the best.
I like defensive end.
because can you
think about
imagine
all the
him at
hand-to-hand you're doing as a defensive
think
end.
at strong safety though? The guy just makes the giant catcher's mitt and intercepts the ball.
If we had an O-line, I would actually
But
have
Nightcrawler
Green
could just
Lantern
pop
be the
into there and
O-line.
grab it.
Yeah.
If we had an O-line, I would have Green Lantern be the O-line himself.
Alright.
If we had that,
Yeah.
but we don't.
The
So
last
So we may look
last
into
member, Black
posting this
Adam.
on our social media if you want to provide any comments
Little
or
debate.
feedback. Get into a debate.
who wins
we
this
should,
game?
We need to post this right here too.
I'm going to. I'm going
The
to post
whole
this
list.
document. Who wins this game?
Who wins?
It actually came out a lot closer than I thought it was going to come out.
I
to
did
be.
too. I was kind of a little pompous towards Marvel. I'm a
'Cause-
little biased.
But we know
but,
Marvel characters a little bit more than we know DC.
But the DC defense is kind of insane.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
Superman,
I think
Martian Manhunter, and 2
honestly, I
linebackers?
mean, the
I
way
think-
it matches up,
look, this is going to be a Marvel
because
running
Martian
game right here.
Manhunter could cover any tight end that comes from Marvel.
If you are a smart coach, Marvel's offense is it's based around its running. You have the Hulk in the Juggernaut.
This is the other thing. I think only like 2 or 3 members
On,
of the
yeah,
defense
honestly,
can
there's
tackle
going to
him.
be 5 passes per game because
So-
then you got Flash on the other side. Who's
But
the
see,
running back.
I would consider it more of a throwing because you have Hawkman and Hawkgirl for DC. What I'm saying with Marvel is like you can blow it up the gut with the Hulk or the Juggernaut, and then you have Nightcrawler just sneaking over there, and you just go fake the run up the middle, toss it up wherever the fuck you want. He's catching it, which is crazy. That's gonna be tough to defend against.
It's true. There's nobody really on the defense that could. The only person that can maybe detect.
Raven.
Yeah, I was gonna say Raven could detect if Nightcrawler was going through like interdimensional transport.
That's what I was thinking.
Because
Which
that's
is
how
good.
Nightcrawler teleports.
That's why you would only use Nightcrawler every so
But
often.
then you could
It
even
would
break
bring
it
Randy
down
Moss.
Yeah.
to the
He's your deep
coaches.
threat.
How much
Awesome.
would Brainiac predict about the civilization and how they
Dude.
operate before every play was run?
A non-player, just thinking about Brainiac as a non-player, that gives your team such a huge advantage. You got Iron Man, I'll give it to you. He's a smart dude. You got Brainiac, who just is going to think of 1,000 different ways they're going to either run or pass the ball and figure out how to defend against it on the spot. It's fucking crazy, dude. That's a Belichick if I ever seen one.
I don't know. It's a Stan Lee if I've ever seen one, or a Jack Kirby, guy who wrote Batman.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
this came out a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
I
Holy
actually really
shit.
enjoyed that.
You know what sucks though
I mean-
is they had Brainiac in the Flash, and I was very disappointed.
Here's the thing on
with
Marvel's
how they
defense.
played that.
Think of the sheer like savagery.
Oh, it
Beast.
is. Beast
I mean,
Wolverine.
even Deadpool doesn't give a fuck about anything. Loki doesn't. Beast is literally his name, a beast. Like if he has to, he'll be that.
All right,
Wolverine is essentially a humanoid animal.
let's
Fucking
match
Thor
them up each
thrives
position.
on combat.
Let's match them up each position. Middle linebacker versus middle linebacker. Shit like that. Corner versus corner.
All right, well,
Going down
Deadpool versus Starfire. From the show, Starfire is a very happy-go-lucky person, which I think Deadpool could very easily get in the head of someone like that.
I agree.
Or get distracted by the fact that Starfire is essentially a young anime girl, and Deadpool is very into anime. And he'd be like, oh my god, you have this! Oh my god! And So like that's like even.
I didn't even
Raven
think
and
about that,
Loki.
but that's so
It's
fucking
kind of weird
perfect.
how we match this up. Raven and Loki are both very brooding,
Yes,
downy,
dark,
Debbie Downer.
mischievous.
Dark.
They don't want to be associated with their past because they're not that. They want to be their own thing. So like they might go out on a date.
I hated that pause. That pause for emphasis that he just did. I fucking hated it. He said,
it's
"Like, go on a
like-
date."
Loki might be like,
Like what?
Loki might be just like, this is absolute rubbish. Why are we conforming to these humanoid things?
All
And
right,
Raven's like, totally.
Totally.
Do you
don't
want to
give a
go
fuck.
like slam poetry or read spells? And Loki was like, I've never heard anything more I'd love to go do.
The one you can't compare is Beast versus Superman. Like, unless Iron Man
They don't
creates.
compare. They're two different types of intellect.
They really
You're
are.
right, but
Superman's not dumb, but he's
So,
not Beast.
this is where
smarts.
This is where I'll bring the Iron Man into the coaching realm. He's gonna have something for Superman.
That's
He's
what
gonna have something
he's got-
around
he's
his
got all
entire
his
team.
Tools.
Yeah.
All
But
his
after
little
if
trinkets.
after
Yeah.
5 plays, you think Batman doesn't recognize what something's going on?
That's true.
And also with Brainiac too. But what's a defense against Kryptonite? Like if you have it on the field, it's gonna weaken Superman. If you have
Trying
it
to think.
in the vicinity, like he doesn't even have to have it on the field. Iron Man could just have it in his suit or something
You
like
know
that.
damn well Lex
The
Luthor's gonna
only
pay
thing,
off the
though,
refs
is
to make sure there's no fucking
that's-
kryptonite.
You're
if you're
probably
putting-
fucking right.
If you're putting like field alterations into it, what hero on Marvel's roster isn't affected by a minor field alteration by like turning the field all into goo?
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler
Look-
and Spider-Man can
Spider-Man.
stay above,
They'll
but
stay above.
everyone else is stuck in fucking
See,
goo,
this is
and
where
their powers are null.
And this is where DC is like, I got fucking
And
Hawkman
look who's
and
on that
Hawkgirl.
team. I mean, Superman could melt the field away.
Yeah.
If we're letting them have unlimited capability of what they're able to do.
This is where I think DC has a little
Like
bit
if
of
they
an
just
advantage.
have to play a football game where they can get like unnecessary roughness.
Look, this is where I think DC has a little bit of an advantage, is the fact that they have a little bit more villain leadership on here. You've got the Joker, you got Lex Luthor, you got Brainiac, you have who else
Yeah,
we got?
you're gonna be more
Swamp
savage
Thing.
about
Swamp
it.
Thing's not really the biggest villain on there, but I'm
He's
saying
really
you have
not. He's
Bane,
probably the
Joker,
nicest, actually.
Bane,
Dr.
Lex
Fate is
Luthor,
pretty-
and Brainiac.
Dr.
who-
Fate is pretty sketchy in terms of like,
But
I'll
he-
do anything to keep the world from chaos.
Yes, like, but he's not considered a villain. He's like
no,
an anti-hero
but it's
type
like,
thing.
hey man, I know you want to wipe out like everybody who's watched porn, but
So
hear me out.
So Marvel's got more of the we're gonna play this fairly and justly type of lineup. I feel like
Captain America, of course.
yes, they've got
We're
that
gonna
kind
play
of
the
setup.
game by the rules.
And see, even Batman.
And Bane's gonna go
Even-
literally inject steroids halfway through the game.
But see,
And-
even Batman will bend the rules as long as he's not killing anybody. He will do what he's got to do to win.
Oh, he'll
know what I
batarang
mean?
your ass to the
So-
face if you're about to sack him. He's like, I've got him.
So I think DC's got a little bit of an edge. I think Marvel has the better talent. If that makes sense. The strategic side of it on DC,
It's the
I feel like is the
defenses, man.
advantage
The
for
It's the
DC.
defenses.
I didn't realize that the
you-
defenses
okay.
would be so
Because Thor
disgusting.
can be literally if he misses a tackle and throws his hammer at you.
Stormbreaker.
Who's
like,
stopping a
what?
Juggernaut and a Hulk rush on DC's defense?
Superman will slow it down.
Superman.
Superman, Martian Manhunter, and Swamp Thing and Green Lantern would probably be your best bets.
You think Green Lantern could stop the Hulk
No.
or Juggernaut? I think he could
I
stop
think he
Juggernaut.
would slow him
I think he
down.
could do Juggernaut. I don't know about Hulk.
He's not gonna. No.
I think you got to put
See,
Superman on
here's
Hulk
the thing.
the whole time.
In
I think
terms
you
I
of
just-
agree.
that,
you
in
just stick
terms
him on
of
in
that,
Hulk.
Juggernaut is stronger. Like his power is literally like once he gets momentum going, there's nothing that can stop him.
That's why he's a fullback.
But like Hulk,
Yeah.
like literally the Batman's defeated Hulk in comics where he literally drop kicked his diaphragm and then threw a sleeping gas in his face and Hulk had to breathe it in because he was like and it knocked the Hulk out.
That just goes to the strategy.
So that's what I'm
behind
saying. Like,
Batman.
but Juggernaut is like, I'm gonna run, and you might throw a knockout gas, but I'm gonna keep running for at least another 100 yards probably before
up.
I'm stopped.
Hold up. Normal Hulk or Professor Hulk?
I'd pick normal Hulk over
I
Professor
agree.
Hulk because I think he loses strength, he gains
You
intelligence,
get
but
the
he doesn't
brain
have
and
his strength.
brawn, dude. I don't
You don't
know.
get
Look,
as much of
I
the
just
brawn.
need the brawn at running back. Leave the brains to cat.
Hulk is like Nick Chubb of current
Yeah,
NFL.
but you have to keep Hulk under control.
Just holds the ball tight and runs straight a fucking head.
Yes.
Is Iron Man able to keep Hulk under control
Yes.
to just
This is
run the ball and
Avengers
not
Hulk.
go and destroy everything?
Well,
Yeah.
how do we know Joker's not going to hold the whole stadium to a fucking
To
hostage
ransom, like,
situation?
You're right.
Seriously.
Lex Luthor. Not even just the Joker.
Lex
Lex
Luthor's
Luthor.
like, me and Joker have planted a bomb under the
Listen.
stadium, so if DC
But
loses,
see, that's where
everyone will
Dr.
die.
Fate comes in. He's like, listen here.
Okay, you guys talk about that, but Loki literally tried to like end Earth. Okay.
Can we
And
not
so did
forget
Thanos.
in a Justice League episode
So
where
Loki's
Lex
gonna play the
Luthor
best
built
game
a
of
city
corner of
with
his
a
life?
engine that was supposedly nuclear powered that would run the city for years, and then Superman and Shazam got into a fight where Shazam was winning very one-sidedly because he grabbed Superman in a bear hug. He had his like back to back, and he just started screaming Shazam. So the lightning's hitting Superman and not him, which magic fucks Superman, which is what Shazam's powers solely come from. So he's literally like, Shazam! 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 And Superman's like, and then finally he breaks out and he yells Shazam and he turns into a little kid. And Superman's like, you've got a lot of explaining to do. You're part of the Justice League, young man. Like,
Young man.
and then Superman gets discredited because he melts the reactor, and Lex Luthor is like, I was just building a city for everyone to enjoy free energy and free rent, and then everybody's like, boo, Superman, you piece of fucking shit. And Lex Luthor just gives this wholesome, like, perfect political commentary on what's happening. It's like, I know I've been wrong in the past, but I am trying to make up for my actions, and it's extremely hard when people will not forgive you for your wrongs and accept the new beginnings you're trying to start. And it's just making Superman look like, oh, you literally just killed a city with free energy. Like,
Have you seen the movie Shazam? Have you, either one of you watched it?
no.
I
I heard
actually
it was
really-
surprisingly good.
I really liked it.
Like, Aquaman was surprisingly good
I
for me.
did not like Aquaman.
What didn't you like about it?
Too cheesy. Too
I
cheesy.
feel like that's just about every DC movie that's.
No, it was.
See,
but
with Ben
it's-
Affleck's Batman,
Bro, we
he
didn't
was
put Wonder
killing
Woman in any
motherfuckers.
years.
Look, it was there were some
Didn't.
lines.
Wonder Woman would be a great linebacker.
Too late. We already picked the team.
I don't know.
There were-
Bane
there were
for
mo-
Wonder Woman?
There were moments in one-on-one sessions with I can't remember the woman's name in Aquaman. What the fuck is her name? The
Gal
redheaded
Gadot?
chick. The bitch who fucked over Johnny Depp. That no
Oh,
longer
Amber
has-
Heard.
The one that no longer has.
Fuck
her,
you, Amber Heard,
her
you lying
character.
cunt.
Yeah, you bitch. Fuck you.
I'm sorry if that's aggressive for anybody, but she really fucked that
If
man's
this was the
career.
other way around, you know how big that would have blown up. Anyways,
It was the other way around. She made
no,
it seem
no,
that way.
No. If he treated her that way,
But that's what I'm saying. The narrative for a long time was he was
Yes,
treating her
and
that way.
now that it's reversed, and you see
But
that
he
it
was a
reversed, it's
quiet, smart dude. He
It's so
recorded. He recorded everything. He waited and waited, and then was like, "I'm taking your ass to
That's
court,
motherfucking
bitch."
Captain Jack Sparrow.
And now
motherfucker.
Johnny Depp is like, now
love Johnny Depp.
I love how everybody's coming out and just being like, "Hey, we're so sorry. Like, we ever even thought something like this about you. Like, if you ever need any, just the support he's getting." And the dude, I know people don't like to think of celebrities being in that tough of situations. This man got fucked up by this girl. She almost cut his finger off with a bottle. Fucking screamed at him, threatened to like charge him with rape and shit like that. Like, it was a
Some sketchy
whole
shit, dude.
bad thing, and all because she said so. When
Mhm.
she was really the person at fault for everything.
Yeah,
But
because she believed to live in this moment of Me Too. Which I'm not saying that you shouldn't believe all that shit.
the Me
but
Too
she-
can be powerful
but
in the right
she definitely
hands.
In the
played
right
into that
hands.
hand that they're gonna believe me over you because you're a man.
And look what happened.
Because you're a famous Hollywood man.
You got a lot of fucking money. You got a lot of power, so they're gonna believe me.
It's probably one of the most well-known actors in history.
Yeah.
There's probably not a country that has television or anything that wouldn't know a movie Johnny Depp hasn't been in.
You're probably right. Dude, you know what? Fucking, I don't like like Broadway style musicals or anything like
But
that.
he's done like a ton of that, right?
Sweeney Todd, I fucking love.
I never watched the movie fully.
I fucking loved it.
I didn't
dude.
realize
I
it was a
haven't seen it.
musical, and I got into it, and then I
Look,
realized they started singing. I
so-
was like, oh.
See, I never even heard of it. My brother played in a role in Sweeney Todd. He played whoever Severus Snape was in the movie, the Doctor or something like that. He played him, so he's a pedophile. He was a pedophile in the show. So I was like, I really enjoyed that. I was like, I'm gonna go watch like Johnny Depp's version of it. It's fucking good, dude. I had a point I was gonna make. Oh yeah, I saw an article that Johnny Depp's not gonna be in Captain Jack Sparrow in the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
No.
That's
That's been
really
that's a
disappointing.
that's an old kind of thing.
Is it?
Yeah, they
I just saw it recently.
because
I
of
don't know why.
because
Of
of
all
his
that?
dealings with her.
Did they like cut him out, or
They're
did
just
he,
making
or
it
did-
without Jack Sparrow. Like Jack Sparrow.
No, I thought they were gonna have a Jack Sparrow, but they were replacing Johnny Depp as Jack
If
Sparrow.
that is, then that's why.
Will you look that up real quick?
I
'Cause
don't
feel
think.
like-
I think
wanna
he
make
might
sure I'm
make
right
a
about that.
cameo, but he's not like a main focal point of the movie.
See, I thought I read something
Which,
where
at
he
this
was
point, I
getting-
never realized when the movies came out that Captain Jack Sparrow, or Pirates of the Caribbean for that matter, was a Disney ride that they made movies
Yeah.
about.
Oh, I
Like,
didn't know that it was before the movies.
it was way before the movies. That's been a ride
Didn't
there
know
for
that. Didn't know
years.
that. So is this the article?
This is the first article that popped up. I'm not sure if this is what it is.
It looks like it's just breaking down the Black Pearl.
All right, let's.
Movie.
No more Jack Sparrow. All right, here. Let's read this.
I have to use the restroom, so find that real quick.
You may use
What,
the
what
restroom.
date is this? This is June
This
29th,
is-
2020?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this is pretty recent.
Dude, they're going in out there. Someone must be getting home. Keith. So I'm not seeing anything
Start-
yet.
All right. Let's.
I'm not. Because there was a movie without Captain Jack Sparrow in it, I thought.
This isn't helping anything.
Maybe I was drunk and
No, I
imagined
mean-
it. I feel like I saw it though.
Johnny Depp
Out
is
as
out.
Jack
This is
Sparrow in
2018.
Disney's- Johnny Depp is coming back as Jack Sparrow for the 6th. That was
That's
March
This
3rd.
year. All right, let's
Click
look at
that. Johnny Depp is coming back as Jack Sparrow for the 6th installment of Pirates of the Caribbean. According to the latest reports, Disney has let... Will you zoom in a little bit on that? Can you zoom in anymore? Okay. According to the latest reports, Disney has let the dust settle, and bosses are lobbying for Johnny Depp to reprise his role as Captain Jack Sparrow
Okay,
in the
right
6th
here.
installment of the Pirates of the Caribbean. Because of the messy and complicated legal battle with his ex-wife Amber Heard, fuck you bitch, Depp had lost his role as Jack Sparrow, and fans started petition. Okay, maybe that's what I read. It's like
Okay.
during all that
So
bullshit, he lost it.
He lost his role because of her, and now
now he's getting it
people
back.
are trying to petition to get it
If
back.
I was Johnny Depp and they kicked me out without believing me, I would give you the biggest middle fingers
Yeah,
I
I'm-
can. But then again,
I'm
they're
not
probably
coming back,
throwing
though.
money at him.
I don't.
I'm
not
with
coming
you.
back, though.
Pride-wise,
Pride-wise,
you have
I'm
to
not coming
sit
back.
there and be like, you know what? You didn't fucking believe me. I was telling the truth. Proved I was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Go back with your fucking pedophilia ring.
Shoot. All right. Don't. That's next episode. All right. That's next episode.
Yeah, I wasn't bringing it up because I would need to look more into that because of the stuff we were bringing up in the first one we touched
There's been more
on
and
it.
more stuff that keep popping up.
I know. And I've been personally asking people like who are older generations because the Corey Feldman and the Corey Haim situation with Charlie Sheen
Right.
that he outed. I was wanting to ask more people. Not that they had any interaction with him, but like I asked my mom. This is the first person I asked. I'm not just saying this is the only person I asked who grew up in the age of where Charlie Sheen
Right.
was a young guy coming through the Hollywood scene. But I was asking, like, do you think you could see that being true about Charlie Sheen? Like, obviously, the motherfucker loved to have sex, and he got his dick around.
I mean, you kind of got that
But-
vibe just from like 2.5 Men. Some of
Yeah,
the shows use it.
I personally think, because of everything that's come out in light, 2.5 Men was portrayed off of kind of his lifestyle. Like he
It wouldn't
just
surprise me.
fuck whoever he wanted, women-wise, and
Right.
he had all this money. He could live however he wanted. He didn't have a care in the world because he had money that could take care of it.
Truthfully.
That's kind of how I took it. I never really took it as like a maniacal thing. And with this Corey Feldman thing that came out, it was more of a maniacal lining in his life. Like he would get fucked up on drugs or some shit and go out and molest these little boys in the Hollywood scene. Is kind of how it was portrayed. Which I need to go watch Corey Feldman's movie that he has on his website, which is the only way you can stream it. I think it's like $15 or $20 to watch it, which I need to go do because I'm one of those people that likes to see both ends and come to my own conclusion, not just watch one-sided and then go into it. We were setting up our next podcast where we're going to talk like
Next
Hollywood
episode.
pedophilia ring, but
Hollywood
that's
pedophilia.
all next. Where I'm going to
Do we
go.
want
I'm
to
gonna,
touch on aliens?
I
before-
would love to touch on aliens.
Well,
We found
have time.
but to wrap up, I don't remember how I made a fucking Hollywood pedophilia ring. That's how we got onto that. A joke about it, but we found out like during the whole thing with his wife, they cut him from the role, and now they're reinstalling him
Johnny
back
Depp.
into that role. So that's
Oh,
where I
nice.
was at
Good
about
for
it.
him.
So, but we were also talking
Update
about
on
like,
my
do you
dog
give
Winston. He recently ate all the little gel balls out of an ice
them?
pack.
Oh, dude, is he okay?
He's acting fine currently. I imagine he's gonna have some very loose stool.
I hope he's okay. I hope it doesn't
He's
have any
acting
chemicals.
fine.
I hope there's no chemicals in it or something.
I don't know.
think there are.
But let me ask you, because I asked him, and we were both kind of on the same page. We were on the same page. I shouldn't say kind of. If you're in this production line where you have been a very successful actor for Pirates of the Caribbean, and you constantly come back for it, you were the lead role every single time.
Yeah, you were
You
the
go-
reason people watch the movie.
And you're the person they wanted to see, and then this shit comes up, and they automatically cut you. Or I don't know if they automatically cut him, but if they ended up cutting him because of the evidence without
They did.
believing him.
That's what happened.
So without believing him and him saying this didn't happen or this is not true, and they just cut him, but then they go, okay, it came out to light that you were actually telling the truth. We're going to have you back as Captain Jack Sparrow. Do you go, okay, cool? Or do you go, fuck
to
you,
play
Hollywood?
devil's advocate from their side, somebody who's investing in an actor, you really can't have your lead actor being associated with sexual assault and anything charges.
Okay.
And in today's, unfortunately, like one of my favorite
But
comedians.
there was no evidence
Hold
other
on.
than that, is what I'm saying.
I
Like,
know,
you just had her word.
But that's a lot of cases. Like right now, I don't know if you've heard Brian Callen, a really famous comedian, just got charged with sexual assault things
I didn't know that.
from
no.
21 years ago, supposedly.
Yeah.
And unlike most people who have been innocent in this situation, he put out a video instantaneously about 2.5 minutes long that just says, I can't believe I'm having to defend myself 21 years later from something I didn't do. And, like, he goes into it just saying, like, I didn't do this, like, blah, blah, blah. Made a video just stating it and how ridiculous it was, which to me looks better than being quiet and letting it roll off.
I
Like,
agree.
he was like, to
I
me, in
agree.
this day and age, there's two options. You be quiet and let things play out and fix themselves, or you take control of the situation and let people know what's actually happening. And he's like, that's what I'm deciding to do today.
Right.
Like, and he did. He's like, this is
Which-
ridiculous. I can't believe I'm having something like this come out against me. Like, and
Which is-
I went and read the YouTube comments because you know how savage they can be usually for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I read probably about 150 comments, and not a single one was defaming or saying he was a sick fuck. Every single one was making a joke, like, because he's a comedian, so that's kind of like his audience would be
Yeah.
like,
Right.
hard to believe Brian Callen got charged for sexual assault before so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that.
So I do get that, but I don't think that's Johnny Depp's personality. But also, what happened to like the American value of innocent until proven guilty?
It's guilty until proven innocent.
Now it is. But we're supposed to live on the fact that it's innocent until proven guilty, which I know,
All you
which
have to
is
do
that
is
is a
accuse
very
someone.
unpopular comment to make right
It's
now.
not,
which
but
I
it's our
get.
Constitution.
You're right, you are right. But me saying it right now is a very unpopular thing to say right now.
Especially when it's sexual assault. Because
I get it happens, and it's tough to fucking prove it. And I know it's stuff that you don't want to get out if you go through that shit.
Nobody
for
wants
a lot
to
of people.
Here's the thing: nobody wants to defend the guy accused of sexual assault.
You're right.
And especially in this day and age. Especially if you have a job that actively checks your social media, or, you know, a lot of people check your social media.
We went down that hole. We were trying to, but we did.
But
let's go to aliens. Let's break off from the dark hole we're going down and go to aliens, because this is
end on. I agree. You are, and now in this day and age, you are guilty until proven innocent. And on that, I just want to add, it's very easy now to accuse someone, and for everyone to just jump on the bandwagon of they're guilty before
that's true.
I will add on to
anything
this
actually comes out.
I'll add on to this too, because
and
you
I don't
can do
think that's fair until you do your own research, or at least hear from the person themselves. Because whether or not you believe them, it's very important to be able to see.
You could fuck up someone's life.
Human body language, their eyes, their facial expressions. Like, I'm sorry, I'm tangenting, but Brian Cowan's video was just, you could tell in his face, like, not only was he like, it wasn't sad, like, fuck, they found me, like a lot of these actors and things that come out. He was upset, like, pissed off, like almost like he wanted, I bet he really wanted to be like, fuck you, like, trying to get some goddamn money out of me right now.
Right.
And all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell that by seeing him do that. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I better do this.
Better do this apologetic video.
Yeah, it was like, no, you son of a bitch, I'm innocent. And I'm not going to sit here and let you just pile on top of me with all this bullshit. And if you're out there and you're innocent, you need to do more of that.
Right.
Because that gets people like me behind you. And, you know, it even makes me scared to share things like that and be like, because the title of a video is Brian Cowan accused of sexual assault. I share that and be like, this is wrong. Fuck these people accusing him of this charges.
You're getting some backlash.
I get some backlash because it's like, it's a man accused of sexual assault. And sorry if this offends any ladies out there, but nowadays a man accused of sexual assault is almost a death sentence for their career.
Yeah.
Not literally, but for your career.
It can destroy someone's life, not just their
because
career,
you
their
say
life.
something you didn't like, or something, not you specifically, but if the shoe fits, wear it. Like, because they didn't like, or that person broke up with them quicker than they wanted to, or that person became wealthier beyond their imagine, and now they're trying to cash in on that, which is what a lot of these false accusations come out to be.
Right. And let me just add on to this real quick. If they are guilty and have actually done it, they deserve every fucking thing that they get.
100%.
But we're talking about the people that are not guilty, who did not actually commit the crime, but their voices are lost, and everybody wants to listen to.
They're drowned out.
They're drowned out, exactly. So
Their
that's
voice
what
to me,
we're talking
as soon
about.
as you're accused, as soon as you're accused of like a sexual crime, your opinion means nothing.
Yeah, there's a stigma essentially that's assigned with your name now.
And you know,
even if
they had it right, they had
exactly. You're exactly right there.
Like,
they
even
had
if it
it
comes
right
out
200
to where
fucking years ago.
you're innocent,
Yeah.
that stigma's still attached to your name
It's
because
like,
it was
oh,
out
look
there.
at
Wasn't
They got
there,
blown
like,
up.
all that
Listen.
dramatic stuff about you a couple years ago, something with some girl.
Louis C.K.
Yeah.
He was, I guess, guilty of that. I wouldn't say guilty. He admitted to, if you don't know the story, a famous comedian admitted to, this is pretty graphic, masturbating in front of a bunch of women
Ugh.
who at the time agreed to let him do that, and he came to finish. But then they all came out years later saying that he wrongfully held them there and they felt uncomfortable in the situation. But for those of you who don't know, Dave Chappelle's been holding comedy shows in Ohio, and he recently had a surprise guest appearance from Louis C.K., and Dave Chappelle and Louis C.K. obviously seemed a lot of backlash, but...
Didn't Louis C.K. say, wasn't he accused of some crazy shit like masturbating in front of women or something?
That's what I just said. He masturbated in front of a bunch of women. Like, he didn't do anything with them. He masturbated in front of them. But, I mean, in terms of sexual stuff, I can attest that that's not the weirdest thing I've even ever heard done.
like, not that anybody was abusing women in the experiences I've heard, but I've heard people into some weird shit. And if at the time people agree to that, sorry if it ended up weirding you out, but I've agreed to shit that ended up weirding me out, and I'm like, you know what, that's just not my thing. But, how long does it take for a man to apologize? To, like, how many times can he say he's sorry before he's allowed back? Like, so what? He had a weird fetish thing. I'm sure he's definitely not doing that shit again. Like, how long before, hey, man, you were into some weird shit. Glad to see you're back up and doing well, and you're continuing with your life, and you didn't give up on what you love. Because a lot of people tend to forget, in this situation, this man loves doing comedy. That's his thing. That's his passion. And for him to not be able to bounce back from, sorry if this offends you, but minor offense, and where he really didn't harm another human being, he just made people feel uncomfortable and awkward.
Gross, though, man.
It's gross. It's disgusting, but all parties agreed to it at the time.
If now that's different.
That's what I'm saying.
If they agreed to it,
they agreed to it at the time.
I don't think that's as disgusting. I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying, if you agree to it, then there is nothing else you can say.
All parties agreed to it at the time, and they come out later and they said it made them feel uncomfortable.
I wouldn't say that they were forced into it. Were they persuaded?
Possibly.
Under the influence.
Because see, if that's the case, then that's where it's like that's a little shady on his part. If that's
and this is a very unpopular opinion, and I might say it, but you can have one drink and claim under the influence.
True.
I feel like but when you like go into details and the rules and guidelines for like consent, if you have any alcohol in your system, 1 drink, 10 drinks, you're not able to give consent, legal consent, according to the. So
I mean, law. Like, so what? 75% of all sexual interactions are technically illegal.
Yes. I get where you're coming from on that, for sure.
Like, I'm not saying mine specifically, but
that's
people I know,
based.
like, I know people who, what they say, it's a social lubricant.
So that's alcohol based, though. That's thinking it's just alcohol based. What if it was more than just alcohol?
True.
Alcohol.
And I'm not all up to I don't remember all the details.
That's why.
But it's not, I remember the fact that it's not as drastic as, like, people, they agreed to it at the time and then came back later and said it made them feel uncomfortable and not, which happened to be right around when he had his very popular network show, Louis C.K. That's what it was called, right? It was just called Louis C.K., right? And then that hits, and...
Like, how big was he at the time?
Oh, he was one of the biggest comedians in the comedy scene.
Not when the shit came to light, when it happened. When all this shit happened, how big was he?
I can't remember how long ago it was, but I think he was doing well for himself. Okay. Like, he was popular. He was popular enough to have girls coming up to him and attracted to him. As much as that isn't a frowned upon opinion, when successful people get more attraction, that's just...
This is going to be an unpopular comment, but it's something I'm curious to ask. 1, I don't have children. 2, I'm not a female. But how much of that is based on how those women grew up and their self-esteem in themselves to be able to get into a scenario like that and be like, this is not okay for me. I'm going to stop. Versus, I'm just gonna give it to this because it's fucking Louis C.K. Like, you don't. I
agree with that.
C.K.,
like,
you know what I mean?
But that's a whole other podcast. Like, mentality of people, their nature versus nurture. Like, oh my god, that's literally, there's a course. There's a whole semester on that shit.
Because I could definitely sit here and say, if I'm in that situation, my character says, "Fuck you, dude. This is weird. I'm getting the fuck out. You're a fucking piece of shit." That's my personal opinion on it. But then again, I'm not a woman. And I may have been raised differently if I was a woman. I don't know.
Here's the double standard of that. This may be unpopular, but if a famous, attractive... I mean, not to say that Louis C.K. is attractive generally. He's not an attractive man. But let's say a famous female comedian gets a bunch of dudes into her green room or hotel room and does the same thing in front of them.
That's the difference.
That's
between
like girls
men
are
and
going
women.
everywhere. Like, yes, 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 you go, girl. Like,
I get-
show them. Like,
I get what you're saying, but
and
for
she's
men
not
to
gonna
get
get
turned
in
on
trouble
is
if
like
they-
this. For
if a-
women, it's not like that.
if a dude comes out and says like, I was held against my will because or I was made uncomfortable because so and so said this, and she just masturbated in front of me, and it felt kind of weird, so I didn't like that.
Look, so I know you listen to Joe Rogan because
Of
we
course.
talk about it all the time. Dr. Show that he had on on his podcast was
Great
making
podcast.
the difference, saying like for men to get turned on in a sexual way is like a flick, like this, like a light switch.
Biologically,
it could be like a light switch. Let me put it that way, because most men, they have different situations, whatever. My point is most men, they can get turned on like this. So a woman coming on strong to a man, it can turn them on like this. Man coming on to a woman, you have to have a little bit of build up. She was saying that it's not just immediate. Like there's got to be, a little
It's
bit of
very rare
emotional. There's got to be a
circumstance.
little bit of physical. There's got to be a little bit of, fooling around with that kind of shit too before it gets to that point where they are fully
Here's the
aroused. Like
other
a man, I can just be 6 to midnight in about fucking 5 seconds. You know what I
know
mean?
men
So,
I know men,
that make you a little uncomfortable, Emerson?
Just a little bit.
but I know men and
Not
women.
while you guys are in the room, at least.
I know
obviously.
men and women.
Shit, we're sharing a couch right now.
I don't know how we're gonna
cuddle?
tangent this, but I'm gonna finish on this.
Okay.
He's
At
gonna
least
finish.
with the
You wanna finish?
alcohol
Do you
part.
want to go to aliens or you want to
Yes.
finish? Because we're
No. How long is it?
2:40.
I mean, we can
It's
go
been
longer.
flying by.
I don't
I'm
got
enjoying
anything
it.
else to do today.
You
I'll
guys got
talk
anywhere
about
to go?
aliens for another hour or so. Or
I'm good.
more.
Like I'm enjoying this. Is
Emerson,
flowing
you
great.
good?
I'm enjoying it.
Do you guys need another drink
Go
at
ahead.
some point?
Go ahead and finish. And then
All
we'll
I
break
want to
to
say
it.
is I know both men and women who have, I don't want to say needed, because that's a heavy term to drop on somebody, but who have wanted the influence of alcohol, men, women, or whatever you associate as, because I've known people of that nature as well, that under the influence of alcohol, it's definitely made them easier for them to, I'm not saying get into a sexual encounter, but
Become
to
aroused.
interact with people.
Okay. That was different than what I was. Thinking.
No, I
I'm
mean,
glad you
but
said
it
that.
leads
was
to
different than what I
that.
was thinking.
Some of these situations
An
lead to
introvert,
a sexual encounter.
It can take an
It
introvert.
can draw out the best
You're right.
qualities in
Okay.
someone that most
I get
people
you.
wouldn't see because you're not so inhibited by what you're willing to reveal. You just
Right.
don't care.
Right.
And sometimes somebody finds that attractive.
Right.
And if they're under the influence of alcohol and you're under the influence, but you genuinely like, wow, this person in this moment they're really, getting my gears turning kind of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with that? Now I get into situations where it's horrible when the person is not able to even respond, shit like that. It's god awful, horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing wrong with two people getting a little bit of, I'm not even saying with alcohol. If you take little vitamins before you go out and you're a little bit more relaxed and you're not so tense or having anxiety about meeting new people.
It helps you open up a little bit.
And
as a
I can
human
say
being,
personally in
you
my
know?
life, that's helped me make more friends than if I'm completely sober and I'm going out, because not even that they're bad people. I get more reserved in my head where I'm like, they're not going to like my point of view. They're going to shun me for my opinion. I'm just going to sit here and get yelled at, or I'm going to have a bad time talking. Whereas usually people are appreciative if you come at them just openly.
Shoot me straight, brother.
And if you come out and say too, like, I am open to a change of mind. Like, if you can provide me with some facts, some things, or something
Unless
I
it's about
didn't
Tom
know.
Brady.
Look. I was just about to make that comment. Unless I come at you and you say, I'm not changing my mind. I
Except
was
Tom
giving
Brady.
you. I was giving you. Anyways. we're not
Except
gonna-
Tom Brady.
We'll break away from that.
I hate that man. It's probably because he's an alien. Oh, look. Segue.
Okay, hold on. All right. What do you want to do? It's a critical moment. Are we going? Are we
Let's go.
stopping? What's
Okay.
up?
I personally think we can throw aliens, Hollywood pedophilia, and some other stuff into a third episode.
You don't want to do it now? You good?
I think I'm good.
Okay. He's good.
Are we good?
We're good. Do you want to recap anything?
Let's recap. I'm gonna put this document our Marvel versus DC football teams. I think y'all, if you are into that shit, will really enjoy that. We enjoy that debate. I want to see some debates of your own. Looking forward to next episode. Definitely some Hollywood pedophilia. There's all kinds of crap going on in the news, and that's happened in the past. All
Just
kinds
a
of
little
stuff coming up.
tidbit that people may not be aware of. Ghislaine Maxwell was taken off suicide watch. As of
Okay,
like 2
all
days
right.
ago.
That you gotta hold up because we can fucking spiel into that
We're
for
not
another
gonna
hour.
I'm
okay.
off today.
Look, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you.
I want people to actually listen to our whole damn
Why
podcast.
wouldn't they? I
Why
mean, this has
wouldn't
been flowing very well.
The
It has
point
been very
is,
interactive. There's not been a lot of
do you
dead
know
air.
how I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast?
Huh.
On the way to things.
On the way.
I never just sit down and listen 3 hours and 46 minutes straight.
Look, let's.
That'd be kind of
let's-
crazy.
Right?
if you
I
did.
hear
let's-
it in 15-minute increments, and I usually sit long enough to where he's like, and here's what I think about, or the person's like,
And
so
then you
here's
s-
what I found,
and
and then
that's
I'm
where
like,
you stop.
pause.
I'm with you
I'm like,
100%.
I'm back when I get in this car.
Yes,
I'm ready to
I get
go.
it. I'm with you there.
So
Go ahead and tell you. Give your comments and opinions. I don't give a shit if you talk shit. You know what? I'll just fucking weed through
if
your
you say
bullshit.
it's too long,
but
fine. But
we'll
here's
cut it
my
down.
point. I know for a third podcast, with as crazy as our world has been, in another week or whenever we get back to it, we're gonna have plenty more to fucking talk
Right.
about. Especially
Anyway.
how sports, video games,
Mm-hmm.
anything. I would really like to touch up on the aliens.
dude,
at
I would
least.
love to. I've
Maybe
been wanting
not
to
the
talk about
child
aliens for the past
pedophilia.
two
That's its whole
podcasts.
thing. But we can get aliens in this one.
Okay, finish recapping. We'll cut it off.
Can you? Will you do that?
Do what? We'll talk about aliens on the next one. I'm cool with it.
So we're done.
Cool with it. Yeah.
I think
He's
so.
ready to wrap up. We
Okay.
went through our whole thing. Finish recapping.
Okay.
I can get behind it.
So
Because I feel like I'm sorry. I know I'm just cutting you off. Because I know me and you. Because I want to get into a debate with you like we did before, when we were at work, and just debate like we were with the football thing. Because I loved that. I don't know how much you loved it. Because you fucking stared me down and was like, "I fucking hate you."
I hate anybody
But-
that brings Tom Brady up
Look,
in a
okay,
positive light.
I won't bring well, unless we're talking about he's an alien. I won't bring Tom Brady up again.
I don't really.
But
think
I was
he's an
bringing
alien.
valid points, by the way. Anyways, I really liked our AI, which is not going to be in the next one, but I really liked our AI conversation because me and you
That
had
was
very
an
different.
interesting-
That was a very differing
I've
view.
grown more
Our-
accustomed to your theory. by
Our
the way,
our
than-
alien conversation as well is differing in what you think they want, what I think they want, if there is a thing at all. But that's why we could go on for like another 2 hours with just
We
that.
really
So I
could.
get where Emerson's come from. Anyways, back to you.
Okay.
Thanks,
Recapping.
Emerson.
So next episode, aliens, AI. We'll figure it out. You'll really enjoy it. Hope you really enjoyed this one. Hope you like our new room setup.
Yeah, you may
Pretty
have noticed
fantastic.
the slight change in studio.
Just a little slight change. Camera quality a little better. Nice
Hopefully.
little couch.
Hopefully.
2 chairs, 2 comfy chairs. Room for a guest. Anybody? Anybody at all?
We would love
We
to
would
have
love
another
a
guest.
Please.
Love a guest.
Please do
Look.
not comment. Please direct message the page if you would like at some point to become a guest on the show.
Yep, it's on Facebook. 3 Unwise Guys
Yes,
is
sir.
what you search. YouTube, 3 Unwise Guys.
Instagram.
Instagram,
all the
3
socials.
Unwise Guys.
Not Twitter.
No Twitter.
Yeah, we're not a
Twitter's
big
weird.
Twitter guy. I feel like Instagram's the way to go.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Watch it. Share it.
Please, please.
Listen.
We'd
Like
be very
it.
grateful.
Listen
of it.
to it. You don't
Listen.
even gotta watch us.
We're some fun,
it-
unwise guys.
we are
spitting
literally-
some wise knowledge.
We're
here.
literally learning as we go. I think this one was a lot smoother, I guess.
Agreed. I would agree.
And flowed a little bit better. I know we had some interruptions there, but I feel like the content was not as discombobulated, which I don't even think it was that discombobulated.
No.
But the tone, we had clear-cut transitions into other things. I enjoyed it. I mean, I've
loved
had a
it.
good
I hope
time.
everybody that
on both of
watches really enjoys it as well.
But
We enjoy it.
And,
Even if you
um,
don't listen, we love talking.
Honestly, if you want to throw topics at us that
Perfect.
That would be
I
perfect,
agree.
yeah. for us to
'cause
look
I'm-
into, give us
sure.
links.
I can't speak for these two guys, but I feel like they're on the same page as me, as whereas I'm always
open to learning about
Always.
new interesting
hey.
topics, whether it's ancient history, new conspiracies,
Absolutely.
new
You know it.
sports updates, new, in general, fitness world, whatever you want to provide. I'm interested in at
We'll
least
talk
doing
about
my
what's
own
on
research.
your mind in this discussion, and you can listen
Absolutely.
and agree or disagree with us. That's totally fine.
All right. Well, guys, it was a good one. I would cheers you, but there's nothing left.
Empty cheers.
Empty
Yeah.
cheers.
It's like
Oh,
a
he said
Wi-Fi
that.
symbol of drinks.
You know what?
He had
Wait, let me
none,
see.
Look.
medium, more.
Look, appreciate you stopping by, guys. This has been great. This time around was.
Thank you, everyone, for the likes,
It was-
views, whatever you do, comments, constructive criticism, roasting.
Please.
Whatever.
I like being
builds
there,
Whatever.
so
us.
that's
It
fine.
only builds us.
And then there's the dogs.
And
we
the
got
dogs
to send
who have
away
been-
with the dogs.
Chaotic throughout this podcast. I've had to clean up another pee mess.
Another debate for another time. Dogs versus cats.
All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Goodbye.